What up, guys? Well, it's good to be back after a win, right? I mean, I think we've been waiting for that. Hope everyone is doing well, and I'm excited to have callers on. I think the first thing I want to say is, man, Kyren Williams, this was his day. This was his game. Say what you will. Oh, well, the Cardinals defense isn't great. I don't really care. Okay, what he showed today, that's the best, in my opinion. Just based on what I saw, that's the best a Rams running back has looked since Todd Gurley. And I think that's fair to say. Appreciate you following on Kick. I can't even read your name. Well, anyway, appreciate the follow on Kick. I can't even see it, but yeah, I just saw it. So, so yeah, Kyren Williams, big props. You guys, appreciate you. How's it going? So yeah, man, we were just on Bleacher Report. Fun stream there, talking about winners, losers. So I'll get that posted after this one. The usual JE Live address to start the thing. Cooper Kupp. Can we really say enough about this guy? 7 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown on 9 targets. I mean, to just come back from that injury and then just to be that good right away, that sharp right away, be on that same page with Stafford right away. We can't take that for granted, man. We cannot take that for granted. Really impressed with Cooper Kupp. Really impressed with Kyren Williams. Really impressed with Byron Young, who continues to get better each and every game. Really impressed with Akello Witherspoon, who's just a complete shutdown corner. I cannot wait to see the numbers for this game moving forward, guys. I really can't. I can't wait to see what's on, PFF. I'm really looking forward to it. Not the grades. I don't care about the grades, but the coverage, the coverage stats. I want to see it. I want to see what they charge, because I think they got it wrong last week. They gave Akello Witherspoon an interception. They gave him a touchdown given up in that Eagles game, and I disagreed entirely. So that's what I'll say there. Hunter Reynolds, thank you so much for the 2. Appreciate you. They really tried to rob Kyren of that touchdown. I know, right? It was like ridiculous, man. Like, what you doing? That wasn't even close. I don't know. The referees are just terrible in every game, it seems like, and they have no accountability whatsoever. They don't actually have to go to the podium and, speak up for anything. But anyway, we won't get too much into that. Rams win 26-9. They move on to 3-3, their first win at home this year. They're the only team in the NFC West that won today. The Eagles didn't even win today. They lost to the Jets. Let's go. I wasn't able to see the ending of it because I was doing the live stream on Bleacher Report, but very happy about that. But yeah, just man, really excited, about this team. I think they're getting there, guys. I don't think they're quite there yet. By the way, the Rams scored points in every single quarter. So let's at least give them some grace there. They did score points in every single quarter. They scored 20 points in the second half. They only scored 6 in the first. But they did score points in every single quarter, which you like to see. I will say they're not as good as what they can be. And that's the thing that makes them exciting, because they're 3-3 here, and they won a game a lot of people didn't think they were going to win against the Seahawks, right? They battled adversity against the Colts going to overtime, a game that we've always seen them lose. And then they come back. They were down at half against the Cardinals, and they came back and they won in blowout fashion. I mean, a 17-point win. I honestly could have been way more. There were miscues. I mean, we can't lie. There were definitely miscues. You have Austin Trammell fumbling the football. You had drop touchdowns, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Tyler Higbee. I mean, there were miscues. This game could have been an absolute drubbing, and it wasn't. But it's okay because at the end of the day, the Rams got the W against a rival. Doesn't matter that the Cardinals aren't expected to be good. This is a good win. They deserve a lot of credit for this. They held down the Rams faithful because, newsflash, just because one team calls themselves the faithful doesn't mean there's not a faithful. Like, you can't have a faithful fan base. Like, they exist outside of that. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case you didn't know. Anyway, I thought the Rams faithful showed out. It was a good home field advantage, and I think this is definitely a game to build on moving forward. Again, I don't care that it was the Cardinals. Maybe I took for granted a little bit that I wanted them to blow them out more. I don't really care. I mean, at the end of the day, a win is a win. No style points in this league. Any given Sunday, we saw today the Browns without Deshaun Watson starting their third string quarterback and PJ Walker, and he comes in and he beats the 49ers. The Jets without Aaron Rodgers, right? Without Sauce Gardner in the secondary, without DJ Reed in the secondary, the Jets without a secondary, they beat the Eagles. It's any given Sunday. Anything can happen. But there is a constant there, and there is something we could take away from it. It's that defense ultimately wins championships. I understand that might sound cliche, but it shouldn't be. Defense wins championships. Defense matters. And guess what? The Rams have a defense, folks. The Rams have a freaking defense. They might frustrate you. They might miss tackles. They might play way off the ball, although really they were in man coverage and they were taking advantage of it. But at the end of the day, this team only giving up 9 points in this game, gave up 23 to the Eagles, gave up 23 to the Colts, gave up 19 to the Bengals, gave up 30 to the 49ers, and 13 to the Seahawks. This defense has done a lot this year. They deserve a lot of credit because everyone was just saying before the season started, this defense is going to be atrocious. The secondary, I'm playing the fantasy wide receiver every single week that's going up against the Rams. Well, guess what? That hasn't worked out because if you're doing that strategy, you're probably not winning many games this year in fantasy football. Let's take a little bit of a quick peek here. Leading receiver today, Michael Wilson, 3 catches, 62 yards. Leading receiver against for the Eagles, A.J. Brown had 6 catches for 127, but if you took Devontae Smith, he only had 2 catches in that game. You look at the Colts, you had the leading receiver was Drew Ogletree with 3 catches for 48 yards. The leading receiver for the Bengals was Jamar Chase, but if you take away the Jamar Chase production there, Tyler Boyd was next with 5 catches for 39 yards, right? If you look at the 49ers, the leading receiver there was Deebo Samuel with 6 catches for 63 yards. And the leading receiver for the Seahawks was DK Metcalf with 3 catches for 47 and a touchdown. The Rams defense have shut these guys down. They've shut down these receivers. Obviously, A.J. Brown went off. Obviously, Jamar Chase went off. That was by design. Okay, I'm going to let those guys have their yards. I'm going to avoid the explosives. And unfortunately, A.J. Brown did create an explosive, but it was after the catch. Akello Witherspoon has to be mentioned every single week because he has completely changed the game in the secondary for the Rams. Akello Witherspoon locks onto your number 1 receiver and he shuts them down. Okay? Completely shuts him down. He needs to be extended immediately because this guy needs to be a Ram. He's 28 years old. Sign him to a 3-4 year deal and call it a day. He's worth every penny. This guy is a true shutdown corner. He is 6'4", okay? He runs a 4.4, and that is definitely evident on film. He's long. He uses his body extremely well. He's got great instincts. Guys, he's got a nose for the ball. Let me tell you that much. Can turn the ball over. I think at the end of the day, he's a big reason why this defense is playing so well without a pass rush too. Although today I thought the pass rush looked pretty decent, but without the pass rush, look at what he's been doing. you see him, you see guys like that. You see Kobe Turner balling out today. You know, Byron Young, Steve Avila, you know, Puka Nakua, O'Shawn Mathis is out there. Zach Evans was out there. Ethan Evans is bombing punts. And you're like, man, because the combination of them going out and signing guys like that and then drafting guys like that is really what has put them in this position. Rec1SS, thank you so much for the follow on Kick. I just saw that. I just think, man, you know, there's a lot going for the Rams. They're 3-3. They got a huge opportunity next week to defend their home turf against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know the Steelers fans travel well. That is going to be a tough game. It just is by virtue. The Steelers have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, one of the best pass rush duos in all of football. They got a good quarterback, a good young quarterback in Kenny Pickett, who could also make things happen with his legs, which is something that I'm now, you know, very much interested in because, man, if we're going to complain here, if we're going to talk about things, let me just start off by saying, wow, okay, when it comes to the Rams and mobile quarterbacks, they always used to stifle mobile quarterbacks. This year, if you're a mobile quarterback, you can run on this team. Again, they don't allow a ton of points, but they allow a ton of yards. So Pickett has a chance to, you know, get some yards next week. You got Jalen Warren, you got Najee Harris, George Pickens, who's, you know, always he's lightning in a bottle. You got the Allen Robinson revenge game, you know, Pat Freiermuth, Calvin Austin over the top, lightning in a bottle. So it's going to be tough next week, but you got to enjoy this one, right? You can't take these games for granted. I think that's an important thing. And I'm going to bring on callers soon, but I just wanted to have kind of that first address there about the game because, you know, there were times where this game was incredibly boring, frustrating, and I was pissed. But I thought they did a really nice job in the second half to bounce back, and I kind of expected it. I actually did expect it, and I said it, that they were going to bounce back on Twitter, as I'm sure most of you have already pointed out. Not I'm sure. I already know most of you have pointed out in the comments section, but no, the Steelers would not trade Nick Herbig. No, no way. They use him too. He's a problem. He's very good. So yeah, I mean, I think real quick criticisms. I want to see more like diversified usage of the receivers. Right now, it seems to be cup, which like, all right, he's working out and everything. But I think they're going to be able to key in on that. It's going to be harder to do that. I want to see them spread the ball out more to Tutu Atwell, to Puka Nakua, to Tyler Higbee, to Kyron Williams, to whoever. You know, I don't know, but that's how I feel. Another criticism for the Kyron Williams haters out there, can you at least finally admit that this guy is good at running the football and doing his job? Because it's getting to be ridiculous at this point. It's either, you know, if it's not somebody saying he's mid, then it's a fantasy football analyst who's looking at a sheet of paper or whatever his analytical model says, and he's saying he's trash. When I'm watching the tape, and you're watching the tape every week on Kick with me, we're watching all 22, and we can see he's not trash. And then he has games like this where he clearly is not trash. He's beyond trash. He was probably the best running back today that I saw. And I could actually confirm that in just a sec here. Let's just go to weekly leaders. Kyron Williams dominated the slate today. 158 yards. The next guy was Raheem Mostert. There was only two running backs today that went over 100 yards. Only two. Cooper Kupp in the receiving game was second, only behind Tyreek Hill, who had 163. Cooper Kupp had 148. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I got to give a lot of credit to that. Anyway, I love sneezing while I'm on the air. It's the greatest thing of all time. Okay, so let's start bringing in callers. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. You guys know my thoughts. I mean, really liking what I'm seeing out of Jonah Williams. Really liking what I'm seeing out of Aaron Donald, Byron Young, Ernest Jones flying all over the field. I mean, I'll have to get in the tape a little bit more to see guys like O'Shawn Mathis. I thought he had some moments, but, you really don't know until you watch the All-22 about the defense, because it's the one thing where I don't get a chance to see everything going on. But that's what I'll say there. I did get another super chat, and it didn't register for me on my side, but Edwin, thank you for the 10. Hey, look at that. We run the ball and we win. Jake, I believe if we had a good edge rusher, we would be in a better position. What do you think we need to work on? P.S. Go Rams, go Lakers, and go Dodgers. Yeah, I thought, I definitely thought they needed to run the ball, and I'm glad they did. We've been talking about that for a while. Yeah, I think they need a new edge. They definitely need another edge rusher, edge defender, whatever you want to call him. And I'm a little concerned about Michael Hoyt. Say what you will. He hurt his elbow, and he is a starter. So I really am curious to see where they go from there if he has a significant injury. But yes. Fernando, appreciate the 5. Jake, I'm with you. The Rams need to extend Witherspoon. He's balling, and we lack an edge rusher still. Exactly. So, like, what he's doing without a pass rush is just incredible when you think about it. T-Mill, thank you for the 2. Niners are legit choke jobs and clutch moments. Agree. I'm just going to say no comment because I don't want to put any of that energy out there for them to then return the favor and have a karma moment. But I'll just say this. I really enjoyed today. Today was fun football watching. You love to see it. The Seahawks go down. The Niners go down. I have nothing against the Eagles, but I'm a little bitter that they won last week. So the Eagles went down. Plus, I like the Jets, as you guys know. Covered them last year. I have a soft spot for them. They're not on the level of the Rams, but I do like them. So it was nice to see them. Yeah, so you like when I quote tweet with receipts? Yeah, I feel that. I just realized I didn't put this out on Twitter. So appreciate you guys being here, by the way. You're always out in full force, and I love it. Let's see here. Just going to tweet that out. Okay. Oh, my Lord. All right. We got a lot of callers here. So let's do this thing. I'm going to get ready here. Let's see what's going on. All right. Okay. Eric, you're on JE Live. How you doing, my buddy?
What's up, Jake? I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good, man. How you feeling about this game? How you feeling about the win?
I felt not good in the first half, and I felt really good the second half.
That's definitely to be expected for sure. All right. So, moving forward, obviously we talked about it, first half, second half, all that. But moving forward, going into that the Steeler game, did this make you feel better about the Rams' trajectory, worse, or are you kind of feeling the same as you did last week?
I'm feeling close to the same, but I do feel a little bit better that Kyren Williams kind of proved that he can take a big running back workload. I mean, I can't even remember the last time we had a 150-yard game from a running back. I think it was Todd Gurley. Maybe Cam Akers, but I'm not sure. But that touchdown that he had running against 3 people, I had like a Steven Jackson flashback watching that. And then there was another play too that he had his helmet come off, and he was still running for a couple yards. Gave me another Steven Jackson flashback. Like Kyren physically doesn't look anything like Steven Jackson, but he had a couple runs where it looked really similar, and that was really nice to see. I knew he had juice. I didn't realize he had that much juice,
Yeah, no, he looked more explosive today. It's almost like he heard what the naysayers were saying about him, and he wanted to prove them wrong. But since I have so many people here and I want to get through everyone, last question for you here. Who are you giving the game ball to today?
Offense, I'll do offense, defense. Offense, I'm giving it to Kyron Williams, and defense, I would give it usually to Aaron Donald, but I think I have to give it to Akello Witherspoon just because he made an insane swat. I'm not even sure if they had a catch against him. I'm pretty sure the only catches were against Kobe and Kobe Durant and Darion Kendrick. Besides like underneath stuff. So. Kello has been playing freaking lights out. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's probably what I would go with, currently. But hey, man, appreciate you waiting. I know it took a while. And as always, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go Rams, beat the Steelers. We got it next week. Don't kill. Beat up Kenny Mittens Pickett.
Oh man, yeah, I got a lot of respect for the Steelers, so I would never say that. But no,
it's all a joke. It's all in fun.
Yes,
nothing serious.
Yes, of course. But yeah, appreciate you, man, and hope to hear from you next time.
Yep. I'll see you, Jake.
All right, later, Eric. Coach Ray, how you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think about the game today?
As probably the most complete run in like a year.
I think I heard what you said, but it sounded like you cut out a little bit. You said it was the most complete run game we've seen in a year?
No, in years.
Oh, in years. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. 100%. I was really impressed because, man, it looked like another game. Sean was trying to get cute with the passing, and I still have no idea like what the point was when they were in the red zone and they're just 3 straight passes, no runs. I just think when you have a guy who's a nose for the end zone like that, you can't take that for granted.
You got to feed him. You got to feed him. I don't know why he doesn't want to feed the running backs.
It's really bizarre. But I'm glad that, in the second half, at least he snapped out of it. I feel like
he's got to throw away. He's got to throw away March's playbook wherever it is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Now my second question for you: how are you feeling now moving forward? Did this change your opinion at all about this team? Do you feel better, worse, or just the same?
I've been pretty even keel throughout, but I think I like the direction it's headed. Mm-hmm. And I especially like the fact that they ran the ball, 11 times or 10 times on that drive.
Yeah, that was
so
crazy.
If they can keep that kind of balanced kind of game plan going forward, I think we're a legitimate playoff team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't think there are many like teams right now that I would pick over the Rams. I think the Niners are beatable and the Rams had a chance to beat them. I think the Eagles are beatable. You can't abandon the run and let them dominate time of possession, but they are the better teams. And I think really what we're dealing with is kind of a different Rams team under Sean McVay. If anything, it's more towards 2020 and 2017 where you talk about having players, but maybe you're not at your final form yet. And so you're at your final form as far as coaching staff. You got one of the best coaching staffs in football. But, as far as the players are concerned, it's not like, the Super Bowl team, so to speak. And I think that's where it makes your margin for error that much slimmer.
Yeah, I just like the overall doggedness they have, the physicality they bring into the game. It just kind of different flavor of a Rams I haven't seen in some time.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Final question for you. Who are you giving the game ball to?
That's a tough question. I mean, there's a lot of guys that contributed, and I think I echo. I think on offense, I would say Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
And then on defense, I'm gonna go for the guy who got his first interception. Was it the second interception for the team? Was that guy Rosenbaum? I'm not sure I got.
Christian
name right.
Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
That was
I'm giving him
huge.
the game ball for getting a really important drive-killing interception.
I love it. I love it. I think Roseboom bounced back after I thought was probably the worst game of his career against the Eagles. I thought he really bounced back in this one. But Coach Ray, thank you for your time, and I will hopefully see you again after the Rams hopefully beat the Steelers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring another one home.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get back to above 500 this time.
Yes. Go Rams.
Go Rams. All right. So appreciate Coach Ray there. We're going to bring on Optimus Scoot, also known as Scoot. How you doing, Scoot?
Oh, let's go.
So I know you're feeling good.
I'm feeling great.
Give me your thoughts on this game, because look, I understand it started off, sluggish, and I know there's still going to be people talking about that, but I mean, I'll ask you a bonus question here. Don't you think it's more important, at the end of the game, like if you're going to start off poorly and say just the result is the same, you win the game even if you start poorly in the first, or you end poorly in the second half, wouldn't you rather end it the right way?
Yeah, you want to end it the right way. To be honest with you, I think the only thing that was bad the first half was the offense. I thought our defense played pretty solid considering we gave them the ball at our own 11 or wherever Trammell fumbled it.
Yeah.
And we still held them to 3. The fact that they had 3 field goals. And then we that shutout in the second half. That's the 3rd time we've shut out a half this year.
Yeah, and really, you got to take one of those field goals away, because, to your point, Trammell fumbles, they're already in field goal range. That's not the defense's fault.
Nah, that's not the defense's fault. I think the defense has been playing out of their minds, and I think all the clowns that cry about Raheem Morris, I hope they watch today's game, because I get third downs are a little bit of a killer for us. But this is a defense that doesn't quit. They don't care that they just they don't care that you just got a 3rd and 12. They don't care that you just got a 3rd and 6. They don't care, because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do what Roseboom did today. They're gonna yank that ball back. They're gonna do what Byron Young did today. They're gonna yank that ball back. We don't care. We're gonna take it back. I love that we're creating turnovers now. That's what we really needed the defense to be doing. We were getting stops. We were getting tired because the offense not doing anything. But this defense, man, by the end of the year, this might be a top 10 defense. And this is a young defense. This D's young.
No, I agree. Going into the second question here for you, how are you feeling about coming out of this game? Do you feel better than you did last week, worse, or kind of in the middle as far as moving forward?
I feel exactly the same, because these are the bum Cardinals, and we own the Cardinals. This is light work. We got Pittsburgh next week, light work. We're gonna make Kenny Pickett's life hell next week. It's gonna be ridiculous. It's going to be embarrassing. Kenny Pickett is about to get embarrassed next week. It's going to be so ugly.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean,
it's going to be so ugly.
Yeah, I mean, the hope is, Stafford can take care of the ball the way he has the last 2 games.
3 touchdowns, no picks last 2 games.
Yeah, because I'll tell you right now that that defensive front of the Pittsburgh Steelers is no joke. Having, in my opinion, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, that might be the best duo of pass rushers in the league. And so I am a little worried about that.
Mid. I don't care about TJ Watt. We're winning. We're winning by 50.
Well, not really, but
we're winning. Hey, we're winning by 50. TJ Watt, Kyron Williams is going to break a TJ Watt tackle like it's nothing, going to put him into the ground.
Kyron Williams looked really good today.
Kyron Williams looked like a dog today. He's looked like the dog he's always been when we give him a bunch of carries.
Yeah, so much for the he can't handle 20 carries in a game.
Every single time that we give him a load of carries, dude pops off. We need to just start with that game plan. Just start running. We can get pass happy when the run don't work.
Yeah. Well, so since I have so many people in here I'm trying to get through, I'll give you one final question, my friend. That final question is who wins your game ball in this one?
Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris gets the game ball.
I like it.
Second half shutout, 3 field goals. How often in the NFL do you hold him to no touchdowns?
Yeah.
How often in the NFL do you not let them score a single point in the second half when they had the ball in the red zone?
He's him. I don't know, man. You know, I've been a big Raheem defender.
If you were one of the, I love Raheem. If anyone in this chat, and I know who you are, and I said this last time I was on here, if you are a Raheem Morris hater, you need to not speak on that man's name ever again. We are lucky to have Raheem Morris. That man's going to be a head coach next year, and whoever gets him is going to be lucky as hell.
Yeah, it's going to be bummed to see him go, but it's weird. It makes the Rams worse by him leaving. But I think you and I both want what's best for him and want him to go get his bag.
No, I'm selfish. I want him staying.
Well, yeah, I want him to get that head coaching job. I don't think it was fair what he did with that Buccaneers team the first time he was a head coach. It was honestly really impressive. I think it was since the 70s, I think it was the only team to win, 11 games with a completely new 11 on the defense or whatever. It was something crazy like that. I forget what it was. But yeah, he honestly coached a hell of a job. And then the second year, everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket. And he was the scapegoat because we know that's how the NFL works. But Scoot, appreciate your time, man. Look forward to hearing from you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Also, Raheem Morris is amazing. I see you guys in the comments in the chat. Raheem Morris is great. If you're a hater, keep quiet. I'm going to bounce.
Later, Scoot.
Love you, bro.
So, never a dull moment with Scoot in the chat. Want to catch up on some super chats here. MX Master, appreciate you with the 5. Going to keep Kyron running the ball down, ball Steelers down their throat in the trenches. Yeah, I think that's really the key to win. I think they just got to stick with the run. The run will supplement the passing game, and then, of course, they can do their thing with the passing game. But, I think they're so quick to get away from the run that I'd like to see them stick to it more because they're not going to get away from the pass. I'd like to see them stick more to the run because that's that way it's like, okay, Sean, you're notorious for forgetting about one key area of the game. You're not going to forget to throw the ball. We know you love to throw it. So, I like that. Monty, appreciate the 10, my friend. 3 and 3 look good to me. Hello, my brother Jake and Ramley family. Appreciate you, Monty. Hope all is well. Definitely a good win today. Matthew, thank you. Member for 25 months. Made it to 500. Here's to keeping it above the rest of the way. Totally agree with you, my friend. I think the magic number moving forward, guys, is 7. They win 7 more games, they're in the playoffs. I know that sounds easier said than done, but the Rams just have to win 7 more games, and I think they make the playoffs in the NFC. Matthew, thank you for the 20. I need some of what your caller is on. He is pumped. Yeah, Scoot does not hold back here, and I love the passion there. Guys, real quick, before I bring on another person, I just want to let you guys know that I am also on kick.com if you are on YouTube. If you're on Kick right now and you don't have me subscribed on YouTube, I'm also on YouTube. But if you're on YouTube and you haven't checked out Kick, I stream, I do all 22, I play video games, I do all of that. It's kind of another side of me. So if you want to see me off the clock, if you will, because this is me more professional, as professional as it gets, then yes, definitely check that out. Link is there. And once I'll say this right now, because I was gonna give out the hat, but that happened while I was offline. So when I get to 800 followers, actually, screw it. I'll give away the hat. Everyone go mass follow Kick right now. And if I see a mass following, say I get 10 people in the next 10 minutes, and I will give away a free Rams hat for one lucky person in the chat. All right? That's the deal. Link is in the comment section. The Kick streams are great. Don't just take my word for it. People that are in the Kick streams right now would say the same thing. By the way, appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. We're going to go with Joe here. Joe, how you doing? You are muted, just so you know. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me, Jake?
Yes. Every time I say you're muted, like if I'm saying that to anybody, it's right when you unmute.
I know.
Never fails.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
So, what'd you think about the game?
Oh, man, I thought the game was great. The first half was, of course, frustrating. I think everyone said that before. Second half was really great. Yeah, the second half was really great. The offense was great. The second half, defense was great all 4 quarters. Other than, I do got one thing to say. I don't want to pile on him, but DK, those 15-yard penalties he had back-to-back games, he needs to work on that, man.
No, I think that's fair. I don't think it's piling. Yeah. I mean, it is a problem. Yeah. You could argue against a better team, that's a back-breaking problem. That's a potentially game-losing problem. So, no, I don't think it's piling on at all. And, you know, this is a quote-unquote safe space. This is what this is all about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you throw your opinions out there, man. You know, I'll definitely respect them. But the second question I got for you here, so leaving this game and looking at last week, do you feel better, worse, or the same?
I probably feel a little better than I did after the Eagles game. I really didn't feel too bad after the Eagles game because I feel like we could have did. We had a lot of ways to win that game, but we just messed up miscues and stuff like that. But I do feel a little better because the Steelers, their defense was crazy. I will give them that credit, but the offense is horrible. Like I think they average 15 points a game, so their offense is pretty bad. So I feel like pretty good going to next week. We should be able to get that done as long as we play that second half football we played today.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear you there, 100%. And now this last question for you. Who would you give the game ball to today?
Ooh, okay. I want to do it on both sides of the ball, actually.
Yeah.
Offensively, I want to give the game ball to Kyron. Cooper Kupp obviously is good, and he's always good, so I don't really have to, keep giving him credit. But Kyron, just because Kyron proved me wrong after last week, I was ready to say, man, we need to do something. But this week he ran hard, and when McVay actually gave him the carries, that kid showed up for real. So I was really proud of him like that. Defensively, I would say, I think like somebody said it, I don't really like him as a player really, but Roseboom, I probably say gets the game ball because I think that interception won us the game because the Cardinals was in position to score, and I think to go up, I think he was in position to score to go up, so I'll probably give Roseboom the ball on defense.
I like it. I like that Kyron's getting the respect he deserves. I feel like the Rams fans are at least giving him that. The mainstream probably won't because I don't know who was watching the Rams Cardinals game outside of Rams fans and Cardinals fans, to be honest. But it'll come. And I think next week going up against the Steelers, and then you get the Dallas Cowboys and Packers. Those are 3 legacy franchises. So, people will see Kyron. Hopefully McVay is willing to give him the same workload because, I think I said it on Twitter and I'll say it now. The Rams are a top 3 offense when they run the ball with Kyron Williams, and they're a bottom 3 offense when they abandon the run with Kyron Williams.
Yeah, and it's shown too, actually.
Yeah.
It's from those games, it's shown.
It's easier when you have the mindset that Sean McVay has as just like a pass-first offensive coordinator. It's easy to just run the ball, and then you can get back into throwing it, then pass the ball right out of the gate, and then you have to remember to run it, and you're not a run-first guy, so it's harder, So
yeah, I get that.
That's how I see it. But, hey, Joe, appreciate you coming on, and hope to talk with you after the Steelers game next week. Hopefully a win.
Of course, man. Go Rams, and hopefully we get that win next week. And McVay, runs the ball, and I think we got it. Appreciate you, Jake.
Absolutely. You take care.
You too.
All right. So before I bring on another guest here, just want to give a shout out to Mo Mitch 28 and HVR 31. Thank you guys for following me on Kick. It looks like I also missed Gardner Planting as well. So appreciate you guys following. So for the call-in for guys on Kick, in case you guys don't know, this is all through the Discord channel. So I will post the link to the Discord channel right now. But yeah, currently it is all for the Discord channel. That's how you call in. That's how I do all my, if you ever hear like any guests or anything, that's how I get the audio to go to OBS to then stream. So you guys hear it. So that's how that works. So yeah, if we get like 8 more followers, so if we get to like 730, I'll give away a hat. Okay, cool. Now we are on the same page. All right, let's bring on, let's see here, Rampage. Rampage, how you doing? You there? I don't know if Rampage is here. Okay. Well, I'll put him back in the waiting room. Rusty, how you doing, man?
What's good, Jake?
Not much. Nice win today. Feeling good about it. How are you feeling?
I love the second half execution. The first one, it's little things that McVay like preaches, and we really need to start off having 2 complete quarters. But overall, I really like how we responded in the second half. And holy crap, Cooper Kupp is so back. 2-2 as well, and then Puka.
Yeah.
And Kyron, Kyron had a field day today. Raheem, I know we give him a lot of shit, but 9.9, not even a touchdown, field goals.
Exactly.
And he's being limited with the amount of help he's got. But Jonah Williams, I was so happy when I got that side. I was like, is that who I think it is? I thought it was a double V Van Valkenburg. I thought it was him, but it was like, oh, it's Jonah Williams. Oh, AD, I feel bad for Joshua Dobbs because he got fucking body slammed. It was ferocious. That's the AD I know and love.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pretty good game overall. Defense fucking balled out. Akilo, man, we got to sign him up quick. Les needs to hurry up because he's gonna want more money. Like right now, he's happy because he's been like our best corner overall.
No, absolutely. No, I agree with you. I thought Akello played really well. Second question for you, my friend. How are you feeling about this team moving forward following this game? Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Or do you feel the same as you did last week?
I ain't scared of no one. I ain't scared of no fucking team going forward. Fuck the Steelers, and like I'm not scared of them, except for their defense. But we managed as soon as we beat the Niners and we watched the Niners lose today. Thank you, Cleveland. I know I hate Deshaun Watson, but still thank you. And yeah, they're I think of them as frauds. I'm not that scared of them anymore. Knowing that we had the potential to beat them, I feel like we can go up against anybody, and we've been doing that pretty much. And going forward, I think we can win those games, but they're going to be hard because our McVay, he's going to have that. Hopefully, doesn't resort to the same thing he did first quarter today and like abandon the run and not implement it. And I feel like we can win the most of the games going forward because I'm really scared of no one. The Cowboys, I'm not scared of them anymore. Anyone going forward, I'm not terrified of. I feel like we can win all those games. We're competitive enough, and the trade deadline is coming soon, and Les is gonna cook up something right there. Hopefully, I wanna get a Chase Young or Daniil Hunter, if possible. But yeah, I feel like we're in a really good position, and I feel like we can win most of the games. And I'm not too worried about those Steelers game, except for us not starting off good. That's the only thing that concerns me. But other than that, everything else seems like a cakewalk.
Yeah, it should be interesting. You got a revenge game on the side of Allen Robinson, and you got a revenge game on the side of Akella Witherspoon and Kevin Dotson.
Dotson, yeah.
To wrap this thing up for you, last question here for you: who are you giving the game ball to today?
I'm gonna give it a coach. I'm giving it to Raheem because he cooked up so many good fucking defensive plays today. And he got a lot of guys to show up. Jonah Williams, Aaron Donald, Akello. It was really good. Christian Roseboom, I know I shit on him a lot, but he made up with the pick, and yeah, I give the game ball to Raheem. Defensively, offensively, Kyron, because he showed McVay, give me the fucking ball, and I can make miracles happen. And please, for the love of God, McVay, give Kyron the freaking ball. Don't overcomplicate things. Just keep running the ball. And I give the game ball to Kyron and Raheem. It's a little weird, but yeah, I give the game ball to Raheem.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's not the first game ball to Raheem this time around. Appreciate you, Rusty, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully, after a Rams win over the Steelers.
All right. Thanks, Jake. Hopefully, the Rams are gonna win next week. Trust me, they're gonna win in a good fashion. They're gonna make Kenny Pickett's life a living hell next week.
You guys hate Kenny Pickett out here.
No, it's not him. It's Matt Canada. Kenny Pickett as a quarterback, he could be really good at just that. Matt Canada is probably one of the worst OCs in the freaking game right now. And did you see when Kenny Pickett scored with George Pickens and his fucking demeanor? He was so serious throughout that whole drive, even though it was the game-winning drive.
Oh yeah, I saw that whole thing.
It's stupid, but yeah. No offense to Kenny, but I want to beat the Steelers. I don't care. I don't care if you have T.J. White, Alex Highsmith. I don't care who's on that defense. The Rams are going to Rams O-line. And Dotson probably going to pancake one of them, or all three of them at some point. I know Kevin Dotson's out for blood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those revenge games, I mean, we saw earlier today, Jacoby Myers had a touchdown against his former Patriots. So, there's that. I don't know if they won, though. I actually don't know.
They did win, 21-17.
Okay, they did win.
Raiders won, yeah. Josh McDaniels survives another day.
Good Lord, if he beat Belichick, Belichick's not in his right mind right now. But Rusty, appreciate you, and we'll talk soon, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jake. Until next time.
Absolutely. All right. So we got 2 followers on Kick. If you haven't already, I'll give away a hat. 8 more followers on Kick. A Rams hat. Link is in the comments section on YouTube, in the chat, pinned at the top. And also here's the Discord if you want to call in. I just dropped that in the chat as well. Let's bring on another guest here. I'm going to go after SoCal Ram 88, and the reason being is because, first off, appreciate you're in almost all of my Kick streams when I'm gaming, first off. And secondly, I felt so bad because I missed you the last time. So I'm not going to miss you this time. SoCal, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing?
Not much, man. Just just vibing out with the community here. A lot of fun. Always way more fun after a win. How you feeling about this game?
Definitely. So I was feeling good, obviously, in the second half because they implemented the run game. They distributed the ball more to, Tutu. They just need to stick to that same formula, balanced ball. Because the first half was just atrocious. They were like stuck and spinning, and defense bailed them out so many times. And I know I've told you this a couple of times. I'm always kind of against the Raheem defense, but I'm the one guy right now being quiet in the corner. I'm like, damn, the defense is playing pretty good without an edge rusher. So if we can get an edge rusher, I think this team getting an edge rusher, it might make it like that much better, for real.
I definitely agree. because I think it cuts down the amount of time that a corner has to defend, a receiver. And in addition to that, I mean, it's obviously pressuring the quarterback, forcing more inaccurate throws. And I thought they got some pressure today on Dobbs for sure.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell they're like one piece away from really getting home consistently. Because when you have Aaron Donald and you got Byron Young and you got the athleticism of O'Shawn Mathis and Kobe Turner, it's like, that's all great and everything, but you got to get another guy in there on those downs where those guys have to come out, and I think that's when you'll have some consistent pressure. Second question for you. How are you feeling about this team moving forward? Did this game change your opinion at all? Do you, are you feeling better, worse, or are you feeling the same as you did last week?
I want to be positive since they won, but maybe if they would have had a complete game from the first half and the second half, I'd be like, yeah, they're learning what's wrong. But the first half was really sloppy on the offensive side. But who knows? Maybe they really do look at the film and be like, yeah, we got to keep running the ball. Maybe incorporate a little different personnel, like 12 personnel, have a couple more tight ends in there. Everybody in that offensive side is stacked. Like, tight ends. Hopkins catches the ball. He's good at blocking. Ronnie Rivers is good. And then even for that minor snap that Zach Evans had, I was like, damn, this guy's explosive. Like right off the get, he just like looks like he's jumping right at you. So
yeah,
I think they're figuring it out. It just kind of sucks because I thought they would have already figured, but still positive. Now they know that they can't just abandon the run because their pass was not working in the first half.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Last question for you. Who are you giving the game ball to in this game?
For offense, I got to go with Kyron Williams, man. That guy was just mowing down that touchdown play. I was like, oh, like just had me on the edge of my seat. And then for defense, I think it was a whole team effort. You got to give it up to Raheem Morris. He had those guys dialed in. I'm just still a little skeptical on Darian Kendrick, man, because it's like every week he's getting a face mask call or holding or something, and I feel like, okay, something has to change, and maybe they should. I personally want Duke Shelley in the other corner across from Witherspoon, and I think it would be a lot better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on my end.
Yeah, it would be cool to see Duke Shelley. I mean, I think Darian Kendrick has been fine. I think he has his moments. The way I see it is he's played 97% of the time he's played good football. 3% has been catastrophic. I mean, he's just bad penalties. I also think he's just one of those guys where now he's not going to get away with anything because he's now developed this reputation. I think that's the main issue moving forward, unfortunately. But yeah, I like that, and we'll see what ends up happening. Hopefully I get to talk with you after the Steelers game, man.
Yeah. So real quick, I just wanted to ask you. So what do you like? Do you think the offense still kind of struggling? Like, I feel like Stafford's still kind of struggling to connect.
I mean,
maybe just they always start off kind of sluggish. My kid screaming in the back.
I think there's definitely a chance they're struggling to incorporate Cooper Kupp and like keep everyone else in the offense. So I think for whatever reason, it's gotten to the point where everything they did at the beginning of the year, it's not the same offense anymore. Like Tutu Atwell's not in the same role, which I don't think they use him enough. But
before I forget, that play where he like stopped on a dime, he even made that track marks in the field, and he just kept it going. To me, I was like, oh, that was one of my favorite plays of the game. So I can't wait to see that on the All 22.
Yes, I'm very much looking for the All 22. Looking forward to that. Ram your end zone, thank you for the follow on Kick. if you guys haven't already, be sure to follow me on Kick. SoCal's on there. We do all 22 every week. I've been consistent with that 5 weeks in a row. Let's make it 6.
Yep.
SoCal, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Jake. And for the rest of you guys, be safe and let's go Rams.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you. All right. We got The Mandalorian.
Jake.
How's it going, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you this time.
Yeah, I'm on my laptop, actually. I'm home a little earlier than usual, but where are my run the damn football mob at? Oh, my God. Finally. And you know what, Jake? I'll sum it up like this real quick. I was having a mental breakdown seeing how many passes were happening in the first half, and I was like, man, I wore the shirt and I jinxed it even further down the abyss of no running. I wore my run the damn football shirt, man, my blue and gold, and I was like, please let this work. And it did in the second half.
Yes.
It was so great to see, Jake, and I think this is something that you and I have talked about in the past. I think you brought this up even occasionally on your other streams, is that why were we not ever running more pistol stuff? And today we did in the second half. It was beautiful because we all know Matthew Stafford likes to be in shotgun. This is public knowledge. This is something he said with his own words, his own mouth. Like, hey, I can hit the ball fast and I can survey the defense and make a decision better than doing under center to a 5-3 7-step drop. He said this.
Mm-hmm.
So McVay knows this, and that's why we're in shotgun all the time and we throw the ball so damn much. But I always thought, look it, we don't do any I formation hardly ever without Skoranek now. I was like, we can do the entire offense out of pistol, similar to the 49ers, by the way, another West Coast variation of what we do. And we can run the entire offense out of the pistol. Everything we can do under center, we can do out of that. Everything we do out of traditional shotgun, we can do out of that. It was great to see the variation of runs. We saw zone. We saw inside zone. We saw wham concepts. And anyone who doesn't know what a wham concept is basically a fullback is trapping a D lineman to open up a lane. And it's incredible to see Higbee do it. It's incredible to see Skoranek, Puka do it. Fullback leads with Tutu today on a power toss. I was like, oh my God. It was just awesome to see. And thank God we won.
Yes. They had to win this game, man. This is, you lose this game and now it starts to get nasty at 2-4, and now it starts to feel okay, maybe there's even self-doubt, maybe it's like, well, man, I thought we were going to be better than this, or wow, I didn't think, I didn't buy into the Caleb Williams stuff. And then all of a sudden they're 2-4 and they lost to the Cardinals. Now you're like, but this is why, it's like clean slate. You're 3-3. You're the only team that won in your division. Even the Eagles lost, like I mentioned. So, the NFC is wide open. I said it last week when we were talking about it. I'll say it again this week as I bring up the standings, right now. When you look at the conference standings currently, I believe the Rams are right outside, if not in it. Let's see. So we got the Eagles 1, 49ers 2, Lions 3 seed, Buccaneers 4, Seahawks 5, Cowboys 6, 7 Rams. And they're tied at 3-3 with the Commanders, Falcons, and Saints. And the Cowboys are 3-2. They're playing the Chargers. I think they're going to lose. And then the Rams have that tiebreaker potentially if they win that game. And then the Seahawks are 3-2 because they had a bye. And the Rams currently have that tiebreaker. And if they beat them again, then they'd fully have the tiebreaker. So, for people saying this team can't make the playoffs, I don't know why. Like, that's the thing. I don't know why. Yeah. But I got to ask you, second question here.
Yes.
Going into, the rest of the year following this game, are you feeling better, worse, or the same as you did the week prior?
I'm feeling better because because we ran the football. Jake, I mean, I know I'm on here a lot and I say I'm probably super repetitive, but it's
I am too.
it's such a big deal that we run the football because I watched the all 22 this past week of the Eagle game, and we obviously were shredding them decently in the first half, and in the second half they adjusted so well to our passing concepts. They were basically doing a match zone. For anybody real quick who doesn't know what match zone is, it's zone, but you have to be super disciplined in the sense of, hey, when this person comes into my zone, I have to attack them like it's man coverage. So they did a fantastic job, the Eagles secondary, who was getting shredded all year, by the way. They adjusted really, really well, and they defended our concepts really well because they had no fear of us running the football. They could just do this same cover 2, cover 3 match zone the entire second half because we didn't bother to run the football. And that's why we lost, honestly, straight up. So today, we said, no more. And Coach McVay said, no more. We're going to smash this football into the defense, and we're going to fucking win this game old school style. Power football, baby. And it was just great to see. And I think if we continue to do that, not only will it keep Stafford healthier, meaning less pass attempts, less chances he gets hit, and I also think it gives our defense a rest. For God's sakes, they're on the field a ton, everybody. Think about these last, 4, 5, 6 games. How many times our offense 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and we're all pulling our hair out. Do we expect the defense to be the 85 Bears and just stop everybody 24/7 like that? No, it's unrealistic in the modern game. So I think those 3 things that factor into running the ball, it's a big deal. And I think this is how we're going to stay in every game and how we'll keep defenses honest, which will give us a chance in every game no matter who we play. 49ers in the future again, Seattle in the future again, Arizona in the future, obviously, Dallas, Cleveland's defense. We have Steelers defense. It'll keep them honest, and we'll be in the game, and it'll help significantly. So I feel good in that respect. But if we go on the other side of the coin and start this BS like it was in the first half, then I'm feeling awful, right? I'm sure we all are. So I feel good if that's the direction we're leaning towards. But we never know. McVay's bipolar with his play calling, and I hope the leaf was turned for the run game. Shoot.
Yeah. And I think, what's great is that this goes to show you don't need to go out and get a Jonathan Taylor. You don't need to go out and get Derrick Henry. You have enough. And what I didn't like about the broadcast is why I felt like they were like kind of discrediting Kyron Williams in the second half. And I mean, you were at the game, right?
Today I was not. I couldn't get this, but I will be there for the next one against the Steelers. And real quick.
Yes.
I know what last time I talked to you, I called out the fan base out here in Southern California to get their ass in the stands. And what I was told today,
they were there.
Pulled up, and I'm happy to hear that. So let's do it again. And I said, I need you there for these bigger games against other national big fan bases.
Yes.
Let's see it again this upcoming weekend against the Steelers, and the future games, Browns, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah.
Congrats, Rams Nation. Thank you for pulling up today. And I saw on socials of the Rams, Instagram and Twitter, how many players, in their little Instagram videos at the end of the game were all, thank you fans for pulling up. We felt your energy. It's real. Your home crowd feeds into a player's confidence, feeds into their ability that a fan can bring out of them, the crowd noise, the energy. It's real. I'm glad that was the case for our Rams today, and the players felt that. It's a big deal. So, Rams Nation, keep pulling up, man. You can be the difference between a win and a loss in these big games coming up. So, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, obviously they were expected to dominate the Cardinals. Cardinals do not travel that well, but the Steelers, that's a huge test next week. Like if you can make that, I don't know, 65-35, that would be enough.
I agree. Yeah, it would be. And I know it's a nuanced thing with the fan, and we talked about it a little bit last week too, but let's keep this train going, man. It was a good week today, and with fan turnout, and we're gonna need it next week. And I'm excited, man. I'll be there, and then I'll obviously give the update on how that ratio is. I'll see it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. But heck yeah, it's good, and we got to get your behind out here, Jake. Shoot,
I know.
One of these games coming up.
I know, man. I'm planning on the Giants game because that's the closest to me.
Oh, nice.
But
when is that? Is that in November, December, or?
Oh, it's New Year's.
Obviously it is. What?
New Year's
Oh,
Eve.
really?
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's a win. Jesus.
No, well, anytime
That's win.
it seems like anytime I go to MetLife, I drive home happy because the Rams either win by 51-17, or I mean, it just seems like every time it's a blowout. So.
Thank God. At least, man, you got the good juju. That's why you guys start pulling up here to Inglewood in LA, man.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, they pretty
Jake,
much don't lose when I see them. I think they lost that one to Washington, Sean McVay's second ever game. That was the only one I can remember.
It's all right, man. You got the New York charm, man. That's what's going on out there in MetLife. But Jake, I gotta ask you though, man. Based on what you saw today,
mm-hmm.
from the pass rush, dude, how do you feel about it? I'm feeling a lot better, man. I saw a lot more one-on-one pressure from Byron. Obviously, he had the strip sack. I saw a lot better rush from Kobe Turner. I saw just an overall better unit pass rush today. I know Donald was kicking ass, and we can say, oh, the Cardinals O-line is terrible and it's not very good, but they've had good moments. They're not some pushover O-line. They've dominated other defensive fronts in past games, and not all 4 quarters. Obviously, their record would be better. But how do you feel about the rush unit? Is it great yet? No, I know that. But I'm feeling better about it. In the one-on-one opportunities, we're seeing our young guys start to win. It's not great. The film will tell all. I know that. But leaving this game, I feel a little bit better. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say, not seeing all 22 yet. But I would say just from what I saw, I'm cautiously optimistic. Like, I see the tools with O'Shawn Mathis. I think he's incredibly raw. But I like that they're just throwing him in the fire and just letting him make mistakes and fall forward. I think that's what's best for somebody like him. I don't believe in just sitting him down and having him, soak in everything. I think you have to actually. I'm not one of those people that believe in that. I think you have to learn and make mistakes on your own. And so I think O'Shawn has shown you some things. I think with the Hoyt injury, if that ends up being serious, that might push the Rams in the direction to go out and get somebody anyway.
Yeah. And I thought, Jake, if we would have lost this game, you can kiss all that trade talk for anybody
absolutely.
for anything.
Which is why I think they've been so kind of, dismissive about it, is because I think they don't want to show their hand.
Well, you know what? You know what's funny, though, Jake, when you say that? I think McVay has no poker face. In all his press conferences, when somebody, a reporter or somebody asks him a certain question, he always has a little twinkle and a smirk when he knows something deep down. He did it when OBJ was a free agent, and they asked him, will we be interested? And he gave we'll always be interested. And he gave a little face.
Yeah.
And what a shock. We signed him a week later. When it was known that we were probably trying to trade for receiver held back in the 2017, we got Sammy. He gave a little and there's a track record of him. And I bring that up because there was, I think, either the end of last week or the beginning of this week. I don't remember exactly. They all blend together, unfortunately. They asked him, would your team, be in the market to trade for any defensive help or any help in general? He gave this long soliloquy about cap space and, capital, draft capital, but he gave that little wink and smirk. So there's talks going on, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
There's talks going on. And whether they pull the trigger or not, that'll be up to other teams losing, right, for them to want to fade away from their good pass rushers, which could be Daniel Hunter with the Vikings, right, if they keep losing.
They did win today, but I know what you mean.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
guys, if Washington keeps choking, so if we lost today, forget all that, Rams Nation. We won today. Now the conversation will continue back and behind the scenes, which is good.
No, absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna get some more people on here just because I have so many. But appreciate you as always.
No, of course.
We'll have to, maybe sometime this week if I can, do a space or something on Twitter. But yeah, man, appreciate you. And I definitely think a trade is possible because I think that things are too unforeseen to be that calculated in that move. I think what we saw last year is no one thought Christian McCaffrey would be available, and he became available, and the 49ers, struck while the iron was hot. No one thought Brian Burns would be available. The Rams gave their best shot, and he wasn't. I think he could be this time around. And if that's the case, I wouldn't rule out the Rams trying to go out and get him. I'd
like that for sure.
I do know for a fact, everything that I've been told, the Rams really want to avoid trading their first round pick. They really they want to use their first round pick this year. They want to get that 5th-year option. They want to get that guy, on the books.
I'm glad they feel that way too, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brian Burns might make you feel differently because he's young enough. I mean, what is he, 25 now?
Yeah.
So.
No, he's a good edge rusher, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think, no one thought the Panthers were going to be 0-6 at this point, and I don't think they thought that.
Didn't.
So there is a definite chance, especially because he's been in the Evero system. He's now had some sort of, he has some sort of idea of what the Rams are doing. So now he'd be even a better fit than he was last year, in my opinion. So
yes,
I think
so
that
well.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But I wouldn't rule out anything at this point. And I think I'll touch on it. I'll probably drop the video either tomorrow or Tuesday. But I'm going to basically do a video breaking down the 3 options the Rams have at the deadline, whether, standing pat, why they should, why they won't, why they would, all of that.
Yes.
Going, the short-term route, rental, and then going the long-term route where, yes, they're a rental on paper, but there's somebody that you definitely are trading for to sign long-term. So,
and I'd be happy with that. And when is the trade deadline? I know it's soon, but what week is that?
It's Halloween, I believe.
Oh gosh, that's around the corner, man. So
it's 2 weeks.
Hey, Rams, keep winning. Beat the Steelers next week, and then feel good about that, and then it happen.
You beat the Steelers in Dallas, and now you're 5-3. You want to tell me they're not gonna, Come on now.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh, I'd be so happy to beat them both. I have friends that are Steelers and Cowboys fans, and it just nauseates me when I watch games with them in a fun friend way. But,
yeah,
that'd be great for a tanking team, right? Yeah, baby, beat the Steelers and Cowboys. So, heck yeah, Jake, and I know you got other callers here coming in, and I'll sign off with you. So, heck yeah, man, I'd keep doing what you're doing, keep up the good work for all your shows with everybody on, and heck yeah, guys, on the Discord if you're trying to call in. And remember, run the damn football. Let's go, baby. Dubs.
Appreciate you as always, man. You take care.
Sir, peace.
All right. Let's see here. Falco, what's up?
Hello.
How you feeling about the win?
I feel really good about this one. They're 3-3. We're in a much better position than let's say 2-4. We are in a much better position now to potentially make a push for the playoffs now. So that's awesome.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, they had to have it, they just 100% had to have it. I think, looking at this game, just, it's been a story every week. They don't make it easy, except for the Seahawks game. I felt like that was the easiest they made it look all year. But
yeah, I just wish that we can play a full 60.
Yes,
play all 4 quarters. Just keep it consistent rather than just having the tale of 2 halves every damn week.
Yeah. No, it's always like a storyline, and you want to get past that, Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I want to ask you the second question of this little gauntlet here that I do. Second question for you is moving on to the rest of the year. You see this game, they're 3-3. Are you feeling better? Are you feeling worse? Or are you feeling the same as you did last week?
I'm feeling better because now then, solely because we ended strong, is that we have that momentum to pick back up next week against Pittsburgh. I think that when you look at Pittsburgh's offense, I think is that our defense is going to feast. I think is that our defense will probably win us that game because Pittsburgh's defense is really good. So I just view it as about like defenses. It'll be a sloppy game on offense on both sides, I would think. But I would think is that our offense is better coached than like Pittsburgh's, coached by Matt Canada. So yeah, I'm feeling more confident about us beating Pittsburgh than I think most, honestly. So yeah. And then on top of that, I just think is that us at the trade deadline, we need to get edge. Like, we need to get either Daniil Hunter or Carl Lawson. Those are my two top picks. Because I think getting those two would be not us wasting our first round pick.
Yeah, it would be nice to get Carl Lawson in there for sure. He was active today. And I don't know if I don't think he actually registered any sort of stat, but
I don't think so either.
He and Mecole Hardman, who they were looking to trade, were active today, and I kind of suspected that they would be kind of trying to sell, one last ditch effort to maybe if they have a good game, increases their value.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you saw the video. I like the Carl Lawson idea a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the third and final question for you. Who are you giving the game ball to this week?
Okay, I want to give one offense and finally one on defense. The one on offense it just has to be Kyron. Like, dude popped off today during second half. Like, I wished is that he could have ran it throughout the entire game, so that way he can have like 200 plus rushing. And have like these insane stats, but still, he did really well. He did really well today. In terms of the defense, honestly, Raheem Morris, he coached a really good game today. I think he only kept the Cardinals offense to 6 points. Okay, not 9 because one of which caused because of special teams fumble. So
yeah.
Only keeping them to 6 points ultimately was a really good thing to see.
No, I really agree with you there. I like that you said that. I think we need to do a better job when we're talking about defense and really like dive in. Like, okay, they gave up a field goal, but they didn't really give it up because they were already in field goal range and they held them to a field goal. So that's a win for the defense. And I totally agree with you there.
And then before I go off, because I know that you have people waiting in the call, I just want to say, people, go follow Jake on Kick. The streams are awesome, so chill. Especially the gaming streams are really chill. Also, the film breakdowns are awesome to watch as well.
I appreciate that, Falco. Yeah, I mean, I think. I know it's probably not most people's cup of tea, but, really we're trying to grow both platforms, get monetized on both platforms. And, right now what Kick is it's essentially like an extension in JE Live. It's just more like laid back.
Right.
And I still answer questions and I game with people. So, it's the whole thing. But no, I appreciate you, man. We'll be doing that soon.
Yep. It's been fun, Jake. I'll talk to you next week. Hopefully, hopefully Wednesday we beat Pittsburgh by like 30.
That would be nice. I would definitely like that. Falco, appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you too, Jake.
All right. Let's see. I don't want to miss any super chats here. I think I got one. Yes, I did. Wildman Samurai. Keep up the great content, Jake. Let's go Rams. Also, I do think the Rams will make a move at the trade deadline for an edge rusher. I kind of do too, Wildman. Thank you, as always, for your constant support. I appreciate it. Albert asks, is Kick similar to YouTube? So Kick is another streaming platform. So in that sense, it is and it isn't. YouTube is more video based. They have streaming. Kick is only streaming, although you can watch streams afterwards. But that's where I do all my. Yeah, it's more like Twitch. But I don't just like play video games on there. Like I'll literally. This is on Kick right now, so all these shows are on Kick, and then in addition to that, we have our film breakdown as well. What's up, Sargon? How you doing? So, Deb, I wanted to answer your question. I saw it earlier, and then I'm going to bring on a caller here. You had mentioned something about Stafford. What are your thoughts on the Rams and Stafford? Because he is a pocket quarterback. I know you agree with me on his talent, but do you think they will want to look for a more mobile? Yes, I do. I think after Stafford, Sean McVay is going to want a more mobile quarterback. I think that's the way the league is trending in. I think the way the league is trending right now is if you look at Lamar Jackson and you look at Justin Fields, they're trying to get these guys to be more pocket oriented, but to know that you have that level of athleticism and speed and mobility in your back pocket whenever you need it. That is the big thing. I think that is the equalizer. That's going to mitigate a rush, things like that. And yeah, I think moving forward, that's kind of what the Rams will look for in their next, their heir essentially to Matthew Stafford. It might not come this year, might not come next year. We don't know, but I think it's really big on that moving forward. I think the NFL is really trending in that direction. All right, let's bring on a guest here because we've been streaming for a while now, an hour and 25, and we got plenty of guests here. So let's bring on Phoenix and Nash. Phoenix, how you doing?
Jake.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going well, man. How are you feeling after that game?
I feel good. Feeling really good. It's something that we needed, after these these losses. It's always good to win at home and stuff like that. So I just hope that we keep building up on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kind of looking at, moving on with this game, going back to last week, do you feel better about this team, worse about this team, or the same as you did last week?
As I was saying last week, how we're a brand new team. I'm feeling actually great about this team because we're still young, and I feel like we're getting stronger each week. Kyron went off today. We got a certified dog running back.
Yeah.
Defense is doing good. Byron Young is getting stronger. He's starting to get up there. Akello Witherspoon is a beast. We're starting to kind of shut up the naysayers. People thought that we were just going to be tanking for Caleb Williams and we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get to the playoffs and stuff. That we're done. And it's yeah, we're 3-3, but look at every game that we played. We were in every game that we played. We didn't get blown out. We didn't, we held our own. Yeah, we're lacking in the second half, but I think we can fix that. And I honestly think we can. And the previous caller, Mandalorian, he hit it right on the head. Run the damn ball.
Yeah.
You run the ball, you give the defense rest. You're taking more time of possession because it seems like that's a key factor in these games too. Is the time of possession because it's we're always going 3 and out, and it's when you see the numbers, it's the other team had they had the ball way longer than us. So it's if we can just let the defense rest so they can get more turnovers, and it tires out the other defenses too. That's what we're trying to do, whether our guys being gassed out and stuff like that. So just run the ball. Stafford doesn't have to make all these throws all the time, just run it.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Top 3 offense when they run the ball and they're consistent about it. Bottom 3 offense when they don't. They become really predictable and teams just, they're chomping at the bit. They know what they're gonna do. They know how Sean McVay does his thing. One thing I haven't said on this stream that is overdue and needs to be said, I don't want to see any more bubble screens. I don't care if that is crazy to say. I don't think the Rams. All right, so I saw the 3rd and 33 bubble screen to Robert Woods against the Giants. I was actually at the game for that. That was great. Aside from that, can you tell me 5 different times where they've actually hit on a bubble screen? It seems like the screens just don't work. They don't work. It doesn't go well. Doesn't matter how well they block. It's so predictable that teams now know that the Rams are going to go with a bubble screen on 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's just that we're just so predictable, and it's like they already know like what we're gonna do before we even do it, and it's like let's change it up,
Yeah.
like what you're saying, like Stafford needs to distribute the ball more, not just cup here, cup there, cup. Like, we got to build up Puka. We got to, get, Tutu like on it, Higbee, he's a certified like tight end, man. Like, we got to give him his touches and stuff like that. And it's like, we already got like Kyron Williams. So it's like, we have all the pieces. It's like, God bless Cup, but it's like, come on, let's distribute more. Let's just give like all these defenses like, questionable looks like, oh, where do we need to go? Like it's like, let's just keep doing it. Can't just keep getting like predictable at points and stuff,
Yeah. Now, final question for you here. Who are you giving the game ball to?
Giving the game ball to, of course, Kyron. He was a beast today. Always been a beast. You even called it out yourself. So, I'm happy with his production. I just keep, hoping the best for him. And Roseboom, of course, that was an important interception, a takeaway, like at the red zone. So Roseboom was good. One thing about him, though, I thought that call, the face mask, I thought that was kind of blatant. I didn't see that. I don't know if you thought that was like a right call from the refs.
On Roseboom?
But yeah, like I think he got called for face mask. And when you saw like the replay, it looked like he barely like even grazed him or something like that. Like he didn't even like hold on the Dobbs or anything like that. It wasn't egregious like as Kendrick's.
Oh, that was who was it?
Was that him?
Michael Hoyt.
Oh, Michael Hoyt. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought the call was egregious anyway.
Yeah, no, I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, I understand it's a face mask, but it's like a small little finger, and I don't know.
Yeah, and like we gotta like chill out on the Kendrick back-to-back penalties, dude. Like 15 yards, like I'm glad that we won, but those are game changers. Like this could have went way left if if that happened and we didn't pull out, in the second half. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I feel that. Yeah, no, I appreciate you hopping on, Phoenix. Appreciate you waiting. And let's reconvene next week after hopefully the Rams beat the Steelers.
Sounds good, Jake. Can't wait.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Take care, man. Yep.
All right, guys. MAS Boxing, appreciate the 5. The Rams with a healthy, great game out of Stafford, Kupp, and Donald, and a solid team around them. They always look unbeatable. El Priscat, thank you for the 2. Always thought Purdy was average at best, and it showed. Yeah, I just... I got to say, I think Brock Purdy, I've been saying it before, I'll say it again. If you get a lead on Brock Purdy going into the second half, you're right in the driver's seat to win the game. And I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. Doesn't necessarily guarantee a win, but I think Brock was exposed against the Rams a little bit. And I think some things happened in that game where the 49ers were able to, take back control. But I think today what we saw was, even though Deshaun Watson was out, PJ Walker was able to put together a pretty good day. And the Cleveland Browns, one of the best defenses in football, they were able to stifle him. I mean, at one point, he had 7 throws, threw one of them complete. So it was like 1 of 7 for, I think it was like 12 yards in the second half. I understand Debo was out. I understand Christian McCaffrey was out. That's still a very stacked offense, probably one of the best in football, even without those guys. So no excuses there. He's got to be better. And that could come back to bite them. And as he gets more comfortable being in these leads where he's way ahead, because he's going to get back in one of those games, he's going to be more prone to throwing interceptions as he gets more comfortable and tests more down the field and works more outside of structure. So I think he's definitely a good quarterback, but I think it's fair to say that he's got his limitations. He's Super Saiyan Jimmy Garoppolo for my Dragon Ball fans out there. You already know, the reference there. All right, let's bring on my friend here. We got Brandon. How you doing, man? You are currently muted.
What's going on, Jake? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Crazy game. First half, I don't know what was going on. I was just like, the execution on offense was terrible. And in the second half, finally McVay answered the phone call when I called them to run the ball, and he took it into consideration and actually ran the ball, and he saw results like that.
It's like he looked at Twitter and saw everyone said run the ball, and he's like, well, the only adjustments I have to make is, I guess, running the damn ball. But yeah. All jokes aside, how'd you feel about the game? How'd you feel about the win?
Obviously it was a must win. We needed that win. It's kind of conflicting because personally for me, I didn't like the execution in the first half, and I would like to see the offense kind of take more ownership of like being more consistent through 4 quarters. But I can't complain about the second half. The second half, they it seemed like they woke up from a sleep and just said, you know what, we're going to take over, and that's what happened. And so I'm happy about that. Was happy about the way the defense played. Akella Witherspoon, man, I'll tell you one thing, that guy has been everything we needed for him to be on this defense and the secondary. And he's easily one of the better cornerbacks in the league right now today.
Absolutely.
And easily, besides maybe AD and Byron, probably our best player on defense. So besides AD, obviously, Byron. So good to see that the defense pitched that out in the second half. And I just can't wait to see when we actually have an edge rusher, an elite edge rusher, or established edge rusher on the other side to really kind of get it after the quarterback, because I feel like when we get that opportunity, that's when I think we're going to have more takeaways and turnovers created. But so that's what I take away from the game. Great win. We needed that win. It kind of made me feel a little bit more better going into next week, going against the Steelers, because I got to be honest, Jake, that first half kind of worried me, because I'm like, if you're going to play like this against the Steelers next week, their defense is significantly way better than the Cardinals.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I was like, you gotta be better than this. You can't come out like this. So, good win. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, it was one of those where you start off, and I was even tweeting like, "This is boring. Like, how can this be boring? How do you have Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, Tyler Higbee, Stafford, and you're boring?" You know what I mean? And then the second half, they came out, they ran the ball, they established the run, and beyond establishing the run, I mean, they just imposed their will. And they basically were able to set up the pass with the run, which I loved. Second question for you here. So moving forward on the season, following this game, are you feeling better, worse, or, the same as last week?
That's a good question. Honestly, I feel a little bit better. I would say I feel a little bit better. What still okay? So personally, what still concerns me about the team is just really, the kind of like the consistency on offense. Um, this team feels like kind of like last year a little bit in the sense of the defense kind of kept us in most of the games.
Yep.
But the offense kind of always sabotaged us at the end. The only difference is that the offense is a little bit more in a better place as far as offensive line wise. If the offensive line was, injured or riddled again or, in shambles, then it will be like 2022 all over again, really. But because of having a little bit more stability on the offensive line, it kind of gives me more hope towards the future. Like, okay, that part of the ball can get better. I will say, this is my main concern. I feel like there is a lack of creativity from the offense. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think in the fact of like, I I think that there's some things that McVay kind of just went away from that actually works in his offense. One of those he actually kind of went back to was running the ball, but in particularly, where's the Ben Skoranek at the fallback position?
Yeah.
Where's the
Where's Ben
the play
Skoranek, period?
action? Yeah, Ben Skoranek, period. It's like he disappeared. Okay, we kept him on the active roster, but for what? Just for special teams? I don't see him. And I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I'm a little bit biased, but I would like to see him in that fullback position because I feel like he kind of owned that, and it kind of gave us more dynamic and also as well the play action fakes. Because in my opinion, like shotgun is cool and everything like that, but shotgun can only get you but so far once the defense realizes you're gonna run that all game long. So they're just gonna stack those concepts, those cover three concepts on you, and kind of just when a wide receiver enters those that player's zone, they're gonna play man and they're gonna stack. Like, you can't play that all the time. Like, I feel like you have to give a little bit more creativity into the offense and take a little bit more for Stafford, who's a gunslinger but can be prone to interceptions and things like that. So I'm really looking for that creativity because personally, I said this before. People always say that 2018 was probably our best looking offense. I mean, you can argue 2021, but 2021, Cooper Kupp was Super Saiyan that year. I would say 2017 for me was probably the best looking offense I've seen in the McVay era. And obviously that was his first year, but it was a lot of creativity, end arounds, jet sweeps and, fake reverses going to up. Like, there were different you know, creative ideas in that playbook, and it just kind of feels a little diluted down just some. So that's only my concern. But other than that, as far as the outlook, I'm interested in seeing the what we may do for the trade deadline, and I'm interested to see if we're going to do something in trade deadline. At this point right now, who knows how Michael Hoyt will feel after this game, because I did see that injury. But we're going to need an edge rusher.
Yes.
If not, if now my thought process, I'm thinking like the Rams really want to be disciplined this year, like, and hold on to their draft picks and hold on to that first round pick and address edge next year. And because there will be edge rushers, Burns, Young, Hunter, I think, possibly.
Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary. There's going to
Josh
be edge
Uche.
rushers. Exactly. So there's going to be edge rushers. So I'm thinking that's what they're thinking in their head. Like, let's try to be patient, and not go full mode. But, like, I don't know. Like, if you're not going to go edge, that's really like the biggest thing for me. If you're not going to go edge, I would maybe see about maybe an extra running back. I kind of like Zach Moss from the Colts, but we'll see. But honestly, even then, with the way Kyron played today, that's my guy, Notre Dame fan. Like I said, I'm so happy that he went off, and like my man said earlier, Mandalorian, please run the ball. This is whenever the Rams have 20 to 25 rushes a game, they usually win. So please, let's do that. It's not that hard,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Final question for you: Who gets the game ball before I move on to the next caller?
Sure. And my apologies. I definitely, we got the calls and everything like that. They're waiting.
Yeah, no worries.
I would say game ball. Obviously, we have to give it to Kyron. It's really a no brainer. We could give it to Cup, but it's like we're so used to Cup just doing his thing. It's just like we just know he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But Kyron really running hard today, that was something that we really needed, and we needed to show McVay that we can run the ball. Like you can run the ball. It's okay, So I'm glad he went off, like I said, and he gets the game ball on the offensive side. Defensive side, I want to give 2 game balls, one to Raheem and one to Akello.
I like it.
For me, what was probably the biggest play of the game, besides the Roseboom interception, but you may or may not agree with me, but probably one of the biggest plays of the game for me was the breakup that Weatherspoon had on Hollywood Brown on the first drive, because that deep ball that Dobbs threw, that should have been a touchdown. And Witherspoon expected a safety help, but he didn't get it. And the fact that he still somehow recovered and knocked the ball away in midair, I was just
crazy.
Like, wow. I was like, wow. So yes, Witherspoon, Raheem on the defensive side, and Kyron on the offensive side.
No, that was crazy. So before you go, I want to say one thing about Akello. I saw one of the comments on YouTube, not to call anybody out. I just noticed it, saying that, he basically Akello, like, he gets beat deep, but somehow it doesn't end in a completion. There's a reason for that. He's playing the trail technique. And he has just unbelievable recovery speed, knows his length, 6'4", and he's definitely baiting quarterbacks. Like that's what he's doing, essentially. But he's doing it a way that he doesn't play like all or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I do like that. But Bino, appreciate you as always, my friend. We'll have to chat next week after hopefully a Rams win over the Steelers. But until next time, you take care, my friend.
Yes, definitely. You take care, Jake. And just wanted to say once again, I know your birthday has gone and passed already, but once again, happy birthday again to you.
Thank you, man.
I know you did my text and everything like that, but I want to say happy birthday again to you. It ended even more better for you with the Rams win today. But once again, always appreciate you, man. Always appreciate the content you put out there. It's always inspiring to me, to others in the server and stuff like that. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because it really kind of makes people believe that they can really do it too. So appreciate you, man. Take care.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you right back at you, and means a lot. I'm glad you like my content.
No doubt, bro. Take care, all right?
Absolutely, you too.
All right, boss.
All right. Monty, how you doing? Thank you, Ken.
My brother Jake, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing, Monty?
Jaking it up, baby. Jaking it up. Man, first of all, man, once again, appreciate everything you do for us Rams fans, right? Because I don't know what we'll be doing with ourselves besides running, YouTube, being trolls. But now we have our own Rams home because of Jake, and I appreciate it. But man, I told everybody last week we would be back here with a W over the quarter. Let me say this too, Jake. To everybody out there, listen, it's hard to win in the NFL, baby. So no team is like we like to say, oh man, they bums. And we supposed no game is given. No game is given in the NFL. We see that. We see what happened with the Eagles and the Jets, right? Of course, we're gonna say no Aaron Rodgers, that's their number one quarterback, but they still have people that know the playbook and things of that nature. We've seen what happened with the Cleveland Browns and the 49ers. I know they lost McCaffrey and Debo, but like you said, Jake, they're one of the deepest fucking teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? If you ask most people, they'll say that they favor them to win the Super Bowl, how everything been looking this year. So they deep. So shouts out to the Browns for going out there. And I want Brock Purdy to continue to play like shit. You know what I mean? Let the Rams come on back and let us go and jump at number one. So, Brock, respect to you. I know everybody's call you Mr. Irrelevant. We need you to really go irrelevant. You know what I mean? So we can go and climb that chart and we can win this West. But it was a hell of a game today, Jake. I had I swear, like I told you last week, I just felt like we was going to lose the game. This week, I just knew we was going to win the game. Even, you know what I mean, with things starting off slow, I knew after halftime they was going to get together. I knew after that, whatever Sean McVay was going to say inside that locker room or whatever the players was going to feel to come out, knowing we probably could have been down 21 to whatever we was up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, defense looking terrific out there. Shouts out to the defense, man, the entire defense. I don't want to just think about one player because as a whole, they came together and, it's a lot of people out there that do a lot of dirty work that we don't see, that don't get the credit. But you best believe, man, we want to give the entire defense, they just doing their credit because they pulled together today, and I can say they played a full 4 quarters of defense this week. They played a full 4 quarters of defense, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I was loving that scenario. And then for Matthew Stafford to come out and play how he's been playing. And I still think he's a little banged up still, so he's still getting back in there in the thick of things. Cooper Kupp letting people know Daddy is home, right? Shouts out to Cooper. Shouts out to Tutu. We still love you, Van Jefferson, for everything you pulled with us. You're a Super Bowl champion, so there's no hard feelings. But, Kupp had to come back and let everybody know Daddy is home. And, we got to give him a shout out. But Kyron Williams came, that St. Louis boy, shouts out to him, and did his thing, man. So we have to give him his just due. 20 carries today, a buck something, got how many yards, a buck and something, and a touchdown. So salute to him, and everybody got him in their fantasy team. But, man, overall, I'm happy, Jake. I'm happy with the team effort. Of course, it's always going to be some things that you can clean up. It's always going to be some finger pointing for us being fans looking at the coaches and things like that. McVay will always get the heavy load of the finger point because he is the head coach and everything falls on him. But he as a young man, right, being in his 30s and things of that nature, and for him to handle the pressure that he handled, Jay, and for him to come out and respond week after week and got to sit up there on, McVay on Mondays and even with a loss, right, and got to speak things and, take it like a man and take accountability. I don't never want him to leave us as a coach. I know that might sound selfish. I know he's not going to stay forever, but I just think McVay is that guy, bro, that if he don't go to television because they're trying to take him to television. As a coach, bro, I think he's gonna be one of the greatest coaches of all time. You know what I mean? One of the greatest coaches of all time. He could be up there with the Bill Belichick and things of that nature because players want to play for him, bro. It don't matter if you have an attitude problem like Darian Kendrick, but if you just a hell of a guy, you lay back. It doesn't matter what type of personality you got. It just seems like he have that Phil Jackson syndrome to where he's like the Zen master. He can just cope with everything. And, I think love conquers all, right, Jake? I think he really do love his players when he tell them those things. And I think they buy in for him, bro. So it's just him just trying not to do too much and just do the simple things because when you're a young genius like him, he like to show off. He said he admitted that himself, right? In a type of, I can't see what type of mannerism, but you got to catch it, right? Because Sean McVay, he's very articulate and he don't brag a lot, but sometimes he will brag. You just got to catch it. You know what I mean? So so he admitted to maybe he do try to do a little bit too much on the field where he can just be simple and basic with some things. But here, when you got that type of knowledge, you got that type of power, why not try it, right? But if we just stay on this path, Jake, I feel like we're gonna get better. And I do see us going 4-3 next week. I think, like you say, my guy said we're gonna beat him by 50. I don't think we're gonna beat him by 50, but we could go out there and have a hell of a game. Because their defense is a good defense. You have to respect Pittsburgh defense. You know what I'm saying? TJ Washington, everything starts up front, everybody. Everything starts right in the heart of football. The offensive line, the defensive line, right in the trenches. So if TJ Washington can start wrecking some things and beat down our offensive line, they can make it hard for us. So, we just need the offensive line to come and, just be strong and be solid. I want to salute them. Matthew Stafford got sacked 3 times. I think a few of them was on him. Well, a couple of them. I ain't going to say 3. One was on the offensive line. I'm going to say 2 of them was on him. But other than that, for us them pushing ahead, for Kyron to do what he do, and for Matthew to do what he do, we got to get them just doing their credit as well. So, overall, man, I'm happy. Like I say, we always go see things that we can get better at. But like you say, Jake, it's always better to come on JE Live after a W than an L. So we feeling good.
Always better after a W. You're absolutely right, Monty. I thought there were a lot of things to take away. Some that, it was frustrating first half, not going to lie, but in the second half, they turned the thing around. And, to your point, I mean, there's no way that you're going to sit there and tell me that this win doesn't matter because the Cardinals are bad. The same week the 49ers lost to the injury-ridden Browns, the same week that the Eagles lost to the injury-ridden Jets, and the same week that the Seahawks just lost to a Bengals team everyone said was done. Like, there's no way you're going to tell me that because it is any given Sunday. Currently, right now, the Bills in Buffalo are down 6-0 to the Giants, Monty. The injury-ridden Giants who don't have most of their guys in the offensive line or their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, who they're paying $40 million to. And they're actually now at the Buffalo 12 trying to make this a 13-point game. So any given Sunday, you have to take a win for what a win is. And you really, as much as I would have loved to score more points, you really have to see it as, look, they got the job done against a team that is familiar with them. And to be fair, Arizona now is different than the Arizona we saw with Cliff Kingsbury. So they had that going for them going into that. This is a new Arizona team, new attendances, new head coach, new coaching staff, some new players. And so I thought the Rams kind of adapted well. Josh Dobbs had his moments, of course, but no, I think there's a lot of good things to take away from it. And then you go on to Pittsburgh, and if you can beat them at home, you kind of protect that home field advantage, winning 2 of the last 3 at home. And then you get ready to play in Jerry World, and there you go. Like, before you know it, you'll be back in LA playing Seattle. So, that's the thing. I mean, the great thing is, I'll say it like when you look at, the beginning of the season, starting off on the road 3 of the first 4 games, if you finish 2-2 or 3-1, you're feeling great. Well, the Rams finished 2-2. So, for the most part, they're going to get more home games moving forward, and I think that's a big deal. But, Monty, appreciate you as always, my friend.
Yes, sir. And let's not forget, Jake, they have a win over the Dallas Cowboys. So it's like when you see those type of things, like I'm not shutting down no team. This is the NFL. Everybody get paid the big bucks. You can look at that Arizona team, and you can find people over there with big contracts, just like everyone else. So, man, listen, in this league, like you say, any given Sunday where it's hard to win, we taking every win as a big-time win, whether we would have beat the Eagles, the 49ers. I'm looking at this divisional game, right? This divisional win, just as big as any win. So these divisional games, they add up, especially when it comes down to the stretch. And like you say, we're not that far off of Seattle, and we stumping Arizona right now, and 49ers just took their first loss. So now they in the losing seat. We can see how they bounce back and see how they heal up over that way, see how long that take for them. And, we'll be right back in the thick of things. So instead of me saying we making a wild card, we might be winning the NFC West. So to the people last week were saying, oh, Monty Brown, you and Jake are crazy. Y'all smoking on this and that. Okay, y'all just keep watching. When me and Jake prove y'all wrong, bring y'all ass right back to the chat and bow down to the masters. Straight like that. But I appreciate you, my brother Jake. Happy belated birthday, man. I hope you enjoy yourself with your family and friends and things of that nature. And we will be back next week with another Rams W. To the chat, y'all have a good one, man, and salute to you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Monty. I appreciate it. You take care, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, Reckless, how you doing? Appreciate everyone's patience.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. You take care, my friend.
Oh, Reckless, you there?
Hey, Reckless, how you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Good, man. You might want to mute the
Yeah,
stream.
I got you. Thank you so much for taking the call, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for waiting. I know it's a long wait. It's now it's a 2-hour stream.
Hey, listen to the Ramley. Listen to all the good people watching the game, not just stats and people who listen to other people. Listen to the people before me calling the stuff out that I be catching. It feels good that we have a lot of like-minded people in the chat.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like every time I go on here, there'll be something that maybe I didn't pick up on because it's a quick game. Like, it's a long game, but it's a quick game. It's over like that. And then I have to haul my ass over on Bleacher Report, do the live stream, then do YouTube. So I don't really get a chance to really dive back in and rewatch until later that night. And I don't get a chance to watch all 22 until, they put it out whenever they want, right? So, yeah, it's a process. So, it's cool to be able to hear from you guys because, I hear it all the time. Like, oh, yeah, this and oh, this thing. And I'll be like, oh, I actually didn't think about that. Or like someone brought up earlier, Kobe Turner looked really good. Like, I know he did, but for whatever reason, I didn't mention it in the Bleach Report live stream because it was just a live reaction. It's right after the game. I go live 2 minutes after the game concludes. So it's cool kind of, to be able to go on here, talk to you guys and just pick your brain a little bit. But how you feeling about this win?
Man, I feel really good. I feel like most of us before me that called, we're in all these games.
Yeah.
All these games that we've lost, we're right there with them. Some of these losses really hurt. Like the Eagles, I love how Aaron Donald called it out and says, giving up that touchdown right before halftime was unacceptable. I've been hearing a lot of love for Morris. I'm not in that same wagon. I know I really feel that I would love more pressure than the shell. We're known to get those shells. We're known to give those big cushions when we have Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the game. We're giving 5, 10-yard cushions to these receivers. Easy to pick up those first downs, and those are killing me. Now, I heard your comment about the bubble screen. I do agree with you.
Oh, God.
Those bubble screens, they can be, but at the right moment, they can be effective. We've gone away from the jet sweeps. And no one forgets, having Todd Gurley when we had him, it made McVay look even better because Todd Gurley was a freak of nature. When Todd Gurley left, we had got Cam, but we truly didn't have that wow factor as a running back, and that's what he's gone away with. And week after week, all of us in the chats, and Twitter, or ever run the flipping ball. And you called it. When we run 20, 25 times, we have a high win percentage, very high. And I love that Cooper Kupp's backs and takes off for Puka Nacua. I really need Stafford to start looking at Tutu, threaten him, even if he overthrows it, even if he overthrows the ball, just to make the defense worry about Tutu, will open it up even more for Puka.
Oh, 100%.
And I heard you asking about the game ball. I'm going to say this. Yes, our offensive line gave up a sack. But, man, that blocking they did, Williams wasn't getting touched until the second to third level. A lot of those runs.
Yeah.
As much as our offensive line has been, do the dog shit, we ream them pretty good. They're giving him opportunities. Yes, it's the Cardinals. Hey, the Cardinals pushed the Niners to the brink. People are forgetting the Cardinals played good ball. I know it's a divisional game, and he lost it towards the end of it, but they're giving all they can handle. Every game we're in, and you know what? I know you don't like putting bad juju on the team, but hey, when the Niners lost today, the Seahawks lost, Cardinals said we got to win, that's an early birthday gift and a belated one to you.
Yeah.
Think about it. Debo poked the bear. If you watch the highlights before the game started, Debo's are talking trash, starting to fight. Look what happened. God. He got pulled out of the game, got hurt. McCaffrey got hurt. I will say this: a lot of us have mentioned the penalties. The penalties got to get cleaned up.
Yes,
that's one thing I will say. We keep extending drives on penalties and bad tackling. When they tackled Dobbs, I forgot who it was. They actually wrapped them up and tackled them. I was like, all right, finally, a wrap-up tackle. These hit sticks are not going to work in NFL all the time.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right there. How are you feeling about this team moving forward, though, following this game? Are you feeling the same as last week, feeling better or feeling worse?
If McVay can keep doing the play calling with running the ball, I feel better. You can't become one-dimensional. I think we've all said it. We've all called it. We all know it. But if he can start mixing in the run and making them where they can't cheat and drop everyone in coverage, it only opens the door better for everyone else. I do think the Rams have the needs are an edge rusher, and we need a solid backup. We lost Stanton. We let him go.
Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on right now. He's still on the NFI list, so he's still on the team.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I read reports that he was released. I heard something about, and what I heard, obviously I'm just a guy who reads off Twitter and everything else.
Yeah.
But I heard it was a drinking problem from college that lingered over. That's what I read. So if that's true or not, I want to put that out there. I want to put someone's name without knowing completely. But I do think the Rams have to start looking for a good, solid quarterback. Because as much as I love Stafford, and he is the toughest guy, he probably eats nails for breakfast, he does need help. He's going to need help if he continue taking hits. Today was a pretty clean game for him, but the Steelers are a different animal. We're not dropping 50. I love that guy's energy. I love it. But it is the Steelers, and they do have a good defensive line. And if you look at our losses, Frisco, Eagles, those are playoff teams. The Bengals, I'm going to say it out there. Believe it or not, I thought we got cheated. Tutu did not step out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I looked, and I looked. That timeout called by their coach was late. The ball was already snapped.
Not
You
only
watch
was
that
it
replay.
late, it was taken out of the All-22 film. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I reviewed it on Kick, and we were doing the community thing, and I was like, all right, this is the part, and then it was just gone. It was like edited out.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
okay.
that's not sketchy.
Yeah. So no, but yeah, that one killed me. So our losses, if you look at them, you know, Frisco, we had that game, we had it. A couple mistakes, and we had it. Same with the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know, but Cincy, the Zebras gave it away.
Yeah, and abandoning the run too hurt a lot.
You know, amen to that. Amen to that.
But they
And
did not
hopefully
do
now
that
people
today.
see it.
So
No, it was 9 straight rushes in a row.
yeah,
We had more rushing yards in the second half since 1996. I saw
That's
that stat pop up. And I thought,
who was that? Was that
Marshall
Jerome
Faulk?
Bettis in 96, or was that was after Jerome?
I think it was after Jerome and before Marshall. Marshall came with 97.
I genuinely don't know who that would have been.
Yeah, I think we're all doing some research after reading up this phone call.
I'm doing it right now. So
Oh, okay, even better. I got my tablet in here. I'm watching the Sunday night game. I'm cooking dinner. Get everything going right now.
it would have to be Lawrence Phillips.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know who owns the most receiving yards per game as a receiver, right? You know who that is, right?
Receiving yards per game, was that Flipper?
Flipper Anderson.
Yeah.
There we go.
See, I know my stuff.
There we go. All right, man. I'm an old head, so I'm glad to see some of these youngsters that know that too.
Oh
So-
yeah, I love Rams history. I wish the NFL did a better job to preserve their history, because I think it's storied, but
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
it
Two of our
is
championships
what
don't
it
count,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
amen to that.
I'm thinking Harold Green and Lawrence Phillips, and I don't know if I'll be able to find the game. Let's see. I might actually be able to find it. Probably the 279 rushing yards against the Atlanta Falcons. November 10th, 1996.
That would have to be it.
And so it was the second half, you said, right?
Yeah.
That would make sense. Both Harold Green and Lawrence Phillips had 106 yards and each, 106 yards each. So it was 212 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. I can't see when they got those, but I'd have to imagine this would be that game for the second half rushing yards.
Kind of funny, we had 2 receivers do that in the first game of the year.
Yeah, that is
Who
funny.
good, who too.
Yeah.
They match each other up. So, man. No, hey, thanks for taking my call. I got you on Kick now. I got you on Twitter. I got you. I'm in your Discord now, so I'll be popping up more often.
You're
Hope I
tapped
get my
in.
bloodline here because we're big Ram fans, and when we won the Super Bowl, we were jumping up and going crazy. So
love it.
I know we're all gonna be there again soon. So yeah, keep the drive alive and keep Donald happy. I really hope we can get someone to go under his wing and be a protege. I know people are talking about Bobby Brown and some other people, so we'll definitely have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I appreciate you coming on, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I was able to look it up. It was actually bothering me all day. I was supposed to look it up earlier, and I forgot to. The Rams won that game, by the way, 59-16.
Ooh. Oh my God! Yeah. See, and just recently there was the Dolphins beat the greatest show on turf yards. The first 5 games, first 4 games or 3 games.
Yeah, it was the first 4, I think. Or first 5.
4, okay.
4 or 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
hell,
there you
Tony
go.
Banks looked good in this game. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So hey,
Some flashbacks. 96. That's right before I met my wife. So there we go.
It was
See?
a year after I was born.
Oh my! All right, I'm walking away from this conversation now. Hey, nice meeting you.
Nice
Hey,
meeting you
all
too.
in all, I hope the success that you keep going forward and keep it up.
I
Go ahead.
appreciate
Go
that.
Rams.
Go Rams. Thank you,
You have
Reckless.
a good. There. Bye.
Take care. All right, guys. Let's see here. We got two more after. Jay Wise, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for being patient with me. Jay Wise, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. Been streaming for 2 hours. Just chilling.
Yeah.
Getting everyone's
Yeah.
thoughts. What'd you think about the game?
Well, I'm glad we finally got us a win.
Back in the win column.
Yeah, it's nice.
Definitely. I guess what I'll ask you is, are you feeling better about this team moving forward, or are you kind of the same as last week, or are you feeling worse?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks in my opinion still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, our games that we do win, we seem to be leading somewhat significantly, and then just let up and let them come back and make close games out of games that I feel if we just stuck with running the ball, we'd be doing a lot better.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I guess what I would ask you, do you, if you were to give a game ball out, who would you give it to?
I'd have to give it to Kyron, and I owe an apology to him because I kind of doubted him. I ain't gonna lie, I really doubted him. But, I mean, he really shined through, and I'm glad to see it. We really needed that.
Yeah, no, that was definitely big. How are you feeling about the Steelers game coming up?
I think as long as we stick with running the ball, and, you know, Stafford's gonna have to, he's either really clutch or he's just making some really questionable throws and errors. Like, he needs to settle down, which I know is easier said than done. But I don't know. I feel like he needs to spread the ball out a little more. Remember who got us this far in this season, which is Puka. I mean, Cooper Cup's the man, but we still need to keep him fed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would also say Tutu Atwell as well.
Yeah, Atwell, he's really shined this year.
Yeah, I wish they would have used him a little bit more in this one. Do you have any like prediction for next week, or are you just you're not really sure yet?
I think it's going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a close game. It could go either way. They got a great defense. The Steelers do. But I feel like as long as we, you know, play some good fundamental football, we should win that game. We really should. Like the Bengals game, we should have won. I was so salty that I don't know, they just did not look good that game at all. They should have won that one.
Yeah. No, I get it. Definitely get it. Do you have any final thoughts?
I think I don't know. I think Byron Young is going to have a really good game next week. He's been standing out in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
I really wish we could have kept Leonard Floyd. I think Leonard Floyd with him along the same side would be really something to watch.
I agree with that.
But can't have them all.
No, unfortunately not. That's one of the, I think that's the move that bothers me the most. I get the Ramsey one, believe it or not, because I think that they basically felt like they found a way where they didn't have to pay a corner top dollar. And by top dollar, I mean top dollar. And they felt like their scheme would still work even with solid corners. And to this point, I would say they're right, although they got lucky that Akella Witherspoon is as good as he is. But the Floyd move is so bothersome because I think he was so underrated. And initially I thought he was overrated, but I thought he was so underrated at the end of his tenure with the Rams because we saw, everyone kept saying, Dante Fowler Jr., Connor Barwin, so forth, Clay Matthews, like anytime there's, a pass rushers with AD, it's always AD made that guy. Well, we had a chance last year, whether we realized it or not, when Aaron Donald went down with an injury and he was done for half the season, Leonard Floyd was out there and he was still, he was 6th in pressures down the stretch and he was still one of the best pass rushers in the league. And Aaron Donald was not there to make that happen. So to me, that kind of tells me that, look, Leonard Floyd is the real deal. And that still somewhat bothers me to this day.
Yeah, and the Nick Scott move, I question that one too. Nick Scott was such a sure tackler, and I mean he was. I like Nick Scott. That one's questionable, in my opinion.
Yeah, that one was tough. But hey, Jay Wise, appreciate you calling in, and hope I get to talk to you next week after a hopeful Rams win over the Steelers.
Absolutely. Hey, you take care.
You too, my friend. All right. Let's see here. The Gardener, or Jaden, whatever you'd like me to call you. How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
It's going great. It's a great day. The Niners lost, Seahawks lost, Eagles lost. It's great.
I'm with you there. And the Rams won, of course. How are you feeling about this win?
I'm feeling good. I think that I really love that we came in and ran the ball at the end of the game. And the defense played outstanding, as they always do. Jonah Williams was great. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. Jonah Williams was elite in run defense.
And then he had the sack.
And he had the sack. He was great this game. Yeah, of course, offensively, I like to see us get going better in the first half, but the second half we came in and made up for it. So I love that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really like the way they came out in the second half. How are you feeling about this team moving forward? Do you feel better this week than you did last week? Do you feel worse or do you feel the same?
I feel much better because in the Niners game, in the Eagles game, and then the Bengals game, we came out and we were physically dominating. And this game, it was a breath of fresh air because we were able to run the ball and we were the ones dominating. And that's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, last question for you here. Who would you give the game ball to?
The game ball on offense, I'm going to give it to Sean McVay. I really love that he came out and said, okay, we're better than you. We're going to run this ball 7 straight times. And defensively, I'm going to say Raheem Morris because, defense played great. With that being said, Sean McVay, you cannot come over here and abandon the run of against this great front of the Steelers. We have to run the ball. And please, we're going against TJ Watt. Find out where he is every single play. Don't let him do what Trey Hendrickson did. Don't let him do what Hassan Reddick did. Give our linemen help wherever TJ Watt is. I
agree. I definitely agree. I don't think you can leave any of those guys on an island with TJ Watt. You're going to have to chip him and be very careful on how you do it because we saw if you don't do it the right way what happens last week when Warren McClendon was out there and Kyron chipped the pass rusher Hassan Reddick right into Matthew Stafford. But do you have any final thoughts before I let you go?
No, just, you're doing great. Finally have somewhere I can share my thoughts on the Rams. It's not a lot, you know. Happy belated birthday, Rams on top.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and look forward to talking with you next week.
After we beat the Steelers, and I want to say I don't think we're going to beat them by 50. I don't think
I
we'll
don't
be very
either.
lucky to even score 27 against the Steelers defense. But Raheem Morris, you cannot come in here and let Matt Canada-led offense score more than 15.
Yeah, no, I feel that you're gonna have to be very, very careful on how you go about that game. If it ends up being like some ugly 22-19 game, I won't be shocked at all. But
yeah, I think this is a game where we just should just get the win.
yeah, no, definitely. But again, appreciate you and thank you for the kind words. And we'll talk next week, hopefully after the Rams beat the Steelers.
All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. Take it easy. All right, Darth.
Hey, Jake.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. What did you think about the game?
Pretty much the same as probably everyone. Terrible first half, just an incredible second half.
Yeah. Yeah, that run performance was pretty insane. I don't know. It's not that I didn't think it was in Kyron, but I thought it was really cool that McVay, it was immediately the glass shattered. It was like, oh my God, what am I doing? We got to run the ball. And then he just came out and just was firing on all cylinders with just the run. And I loved it.
Yeah. I think, the only couple criticism that I really have about this game was, not running the ball early. I think what we need to do is establish the run game early and not just go all pass happy, because I just feel like, when we go up against much better teams, we need to keep their defense more honest to not make their lives easier and make their job easier, and I feel like we can keep our defense off to give them rest and then just be able to open up more. And I hope that this isn't turning to Cup is back and now it's just Cup, and then all of a sudden, I'm just nervous that it's going to be like last year, we use him too much and then he gets hurt and then he's maybe done for the year or out for a long period of time. So I want to see Kyron Williams get used in the passing game, Tyler Higbee, Tutu Atwell, and Puka Nacua.
No, I agree. You got to mitigate just, I guess I would say the wear and tear when it comes to Cooper Kupp. We already talked about this with Puka Nacua earlier in the season, but I think now it's Cooper Kupp back-to-back games over 100. This time he was second in the league this week in receiving yards outside of only Tyreek Hill. So you got to be very careful because you don't want to overuse Cooper Kupp coming back. He is still susceptible to getting injured. He has been injury prone. So yeah, I agree with you. They need to kind of mix it up, mix your pitches up, stop force feeding. It's not like people are against Cooper Kupp breaking records or anything. It's just more so hey, we want to make sure that you're here for the long haul. There's a lot of football left over, man. Getting to 1,000 yards probably won't be an issue for you. But you have to obviously stay healthy, and furthermore, getting to the playoffs, you're going to have to stay healthy for the Rams to get to the playoffs. I do think the Rams need Cooper Kupp. But at the same time, I think the Rams also kind of are running a different offense than what they did previously, with a heavy emphasis on Cooper Kupp and now running the football. I think before it was more, spread out, and now I feel like it's kind of been, Cup is the main guy, and yeah, they're getting it to Puka, they're getting it to Tutu every now and then, but not quite as much as Cooper Kupp getting 9 targets today and over 10 last week. So that's all I'll say about that. But I want to ask you, in accordance to the Rams moving forward. So week 6, they're 3-3 leaving week 6, going to week 7 against the Steelers. Are you feeling good about this team? Are you feeling bad about this team? Are you feeling the same as you did last week about this team?
I think I'm about the same. I want to be able to see a consistent. I want to be able to see the second half of today in like the Pittsburgh game, but I want to see it in like a full game. Like I'm tired of just this team just like being terrible in one half and then great in the other, because this isn't gonna win you many football games against lots of like great teams. Like we have to be able to, we got to be able to play like a more full game. Like even if we're only bad in like one quarter like that, if we can be better in like 3 quarters, then we can win games. But like we're still, even with like how bad we've been in like the second half of most games, like we've been in every single game because our defense has just kept it have been keeping it close no matter like the lack of like the pass rush that we've had. But like the pass rush was better today. Just mobile quarterbacks getting away, and then just terrible tackling again. But I think that this team can definitely look in the positive and take things away from this game and improve for future games down the line.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And last question here for you. Who would you give the game ball to in this sense?
I mean, Kyron Williams has to. Like how can you not? That guy just put his heart out, and he's so, like, I knew he had it in him. Like even like of like the times like he was like running, it's just like, man, give this guy more opportunities.
No, I definitely hear you there. Dar, thank you so much for waiting. I appreciate your patience, my friend, and I look forward to talking with you next week.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I want to add one thing about
yeah, go
running.
ahead.
So I have this, like, I don't know, like maybe like a theory, like, so I'm not too sure like how true it is, but I feel like on McVay, right? Like we keep criticizing him about him not being committed to like the run. So I'm wondering if the reason of it is because of Todd Gurley's arthritis in his knee, of like how many times he like used and like ran like with like Gurley. So like I'm wondering if he's concerned of giving like the workload to like a running back and not being too committed to it.
I mean, I could definitely see where you're coming from, kind of being a little shell-shocked from previous experiences. I could see that. I don't think it necessarily applies to Kyron. I think he genuinely just loves throwing the ball. And I think he knows, just from being with Jared Goff for so long, not to, crap on him or anything, but he's not Matthew Stafford. And I think Sean McVay is just like, I have one of the best quarterbacks to ever lace up cleats at my disposal. I'm going to throw the ball every chance I get. And I think that's really kind of the issue.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think he just wants to throw it. And I think he's like, well, I got Matthew Stafford, so it's not like it's a bad idea to throw the ball, But
that's true, because sometimes people that are like, feel like that they can, that are really smart and everything, they just want to show things off, and it feels like a lot of the times where there's like a 3rd and 1, it's like just run the ball, get a first down, get a new set of downs, but then he tries to like make this like big like home run like type thing, and then all of a sudden we have to make either a decision to go for him fourth down or punt it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm all for him running it more. I just think he often will like forget. And so I would like to see them start off with the run a little bit more and then, kind of move into passing the ball a little bit. And use some jet motion. Like I know some people were saying before, jet sweeps, jet motion, things like that. Using Ben Skoranek.
There?
Yeah.
Like why don't we use Tutu Atwell there? Because
it's
weird.
Oh
my gosh, on I think it was there was one play where he had like a catch like near like the sideline and then he broke off like a couple like yards, but when I saw him in motion, I was like going, my goodness, that guy was fast. And I thought I got fooled actually, because when I saw Stafford throwing it, I saw Cup and like that, and I thought he was throwing the Cup, and I was going like, wait, who is he throwing it to? I was like, where? And then I saw like and then I was like, oh, it's Tutu Atwell. And then I saw the replay of like the motion. I was like going, my goodness, that guy got there fast. Like,
yeah.
They need to take some deep shots. Like they need like, because like he's got like, when I think it was like in 2021 in game 3, like I think it was the start of the second half of the Bucks game where Stafford finally hit Deshaun Jackson on that big touchdown. Like we need to try to get something like that to break over the top, and that will open up more underneath.
Yes, and I think they should take at least 3 shots a game down the field with Tutu Atwell. I think what has happened is there's such a heavy emphasis on him taking, care of the ball. And we've seen it, that I don't think he's been hesitant. He's been taking sacks in those situations a little bit more instead of just launching it downfield. But anyway, appreciate you, Darth. Always fun talking with you, and I'll see you next week.
Yep. See ya.
All right. So now, so I didn't get a chance to say, I didn't want to be rude because I had Darth on. I didn't want to talk over him, but Swizzleberry, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, my friend.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I was like, I started to feel bad because that's right when it started playing the sound. I was like, I forgot it plays sound.
Oh, see, like my OBS is acting up where I'm not even hearing the sound. And I'm like, what the hell? I have it on so I could hear it. Like, that way I know what's going on. That way I can react and not look like a plank from Ed, and Eddie. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But man, how great is it to see the team actually run the ball?
Oh, it's great.
And not only that, blocking. That was the best run blocking I've seen this team all year.
They needed this.
Yeah.
It wasn't the get right game I was preaching that it should be, but it was good enough because you get back on the right track. And, this kind of unlocked, because here's the thing, moving forward, teams now know, well, crap, this is what Kyron Williams can do. And so this will now open up other things. Play action. You can start doing the reverse handoffs. I'd like to see them do that a little bit more. I feel like the creativity kind of goes out the window every now and then. And then it comes back, and then it leaves, and then it comes back. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at that point. But it
happens.
Yeah, I thought the second half was just a great show of resilience and just a great job of responding. I don't know, what did you think about the game?
The first half was frustrating beyond anything I can say. It was just a lot of, it felt like very lackluster offense. The defense was then showing up still, but this was the game that we needed where finally they came out and performed better in the second half.
Yeah.
Because, this almost felt similar to Cincinnati to the Philadelphia game and even the 49ers game, where it's like, okay, this isn't looking that great, I'm liking some things aren't working well, and then it just falls apart in the second half and then goes away from us.
No, absolutely.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, no,
And
that did not
That's
happen.
great.
That did not happen at all. And I know it's the Cardinals, but I said the same thing when Monty was on. I was like, look, you can't throw that in our faces this week. This is a week where we just saw Cincinnati beat Seattle. We saw the Jets beat the Eagles. We saw the Browns, like injury-ridden Browns beating the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Houston beat New Orleans, although I think now it's time to actually give Houston some credit. I mean, it's any given Sunday. And, really in case of divisions, to win by 17 is a pretty good win, I would say. I think the thing is, the Cardinals had the advantage in this one because they had the new head coach. They had the new coaching staff. The Rams didn't know their tendencies. And so the Rams are dealing with a different team. This is not the same team as last year. And I thought they were more competitive than years past. The lesser Cardinals teams, obviously they had playoff teams, but I thought they were a little bit more competitive. This lesser team than the lesser teams coached by Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah. But this is the thing too, that we also gotta forget. They come into SoFi, and for some reason, there's something about that building where all of a sudden they know how to play football there better than anywhere else.
Oh, I know. Every time.
I don't get it. The year we won the Super Bowl, I remember sitting up watching the game with my friend, and all of a sudden I'm like, I never thought I would watch the Rams lose in a blowout to the Cardinals. Like, not that year.
That was the Sony Michel fumble at the own 20-yard line?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, it was just everything's going wrong, and it was like, well, this sucked. After watching Chicago game go well, all the other stuff go well, but yeah, it was overall, and it was so great to watch. The stadium felt like it actually had some home field advantage. Granted, Cardinals, not really a lot of fans there to compete, but it actually felt good. Stafford looked like he was actually not in a silent count. That is just massive. We were able to force Josh Dobbs to be on a silent count. That was a lot of fun. And the most exciting thing, that almost ruled fumble into the end zone by Kyron Williams.
Oh, that was so dumb.
Was his touchdown. So the replay operator and the scoreboard operator, they were on that super fast. So I don't know if you were able to hear it on the broadcast, but shortly, right after they said that it was a fumble that hit the pylon, they put the replay up on the screen, and everyone sees him reach out. That one replay where it shows him scoring the touchdown, then it gets knocked out.
Yeah.
The entire stadium goes crazy. Half of the sideline of the Rams was on the field. It was insane to see that. It was like, it felt like there was going to be a riot inside SoFi after that play.
Yeah,
but that was fun.
That was one of those rare occurrences where they're celebrating the touchdown even though it was ruled a touchback on the field, and they knew for a fact that it was going to get overturned, and they were literally celebrating that fact. Yes, to miss that, to me, this is when I'm saying that the officiating can actually completely take over a game. I mean, if they call that a touchback, that becomes a really interesting little thing there.
It's at minimum a 7-point swing. And if they go down and score, now you're talking 14-point swing, and it's a tie game.
Exactly. So, that was a huge call. And the fact that she's looking right at that, I mean, that's just, I don't know how you think that's a fumble.
Yeah. I mean, it's luckily it didn't affect the outcome of the game, but it's just, you just tack it on as another reason why these refs need to be full-time. It's just another one.
And they need to be held accountable. To me, if you have a miss like that bad, that's and I'm gonna be hard here on them, okay? Because they get paid a lot of money. Okay. That's like someone not checking an underage kid's ID, when they're buying alcohol. That little miss can be damaging. Like, this little miss can be damaging. Oh, I forgot to call and let the person know that the thing that they rush ordered isn't going to be ready for Christmas and it's their Christmas presents. Like, that's what I'm talking about. So, it might be a little thing like, oh, we don't need to fine them or anything. Well, but they need to be held accountable, and they need to answer questions at the end of games. I don't see why they get off the hook like that. I really don't. I think it's ridiculous because they miss so many calls. And like it just gets to the point where it's like every single week I feel like they're bad. I mean, I don't know if you watched any college football. I don't think you like college football.
No, not particularly.
But
I started to watch Colorado more now, but
yeah, I think that I thought that the Kansas game against Oklahoma State was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life. One of the most crucial plays of the game, there was a encroachment that was not called. The edge defender off the edge, like he jumped and he literally touched the right tackle, and they did not call it. And to me, at that point, it's like if officiating is missing things like that, that's like killing games. Because they
call that.
They don't call it, and then they forced a fumble on that play. So now it goes uncalled, and it's like, all right, well, so you basically let them cheat because they jumped over the line first. It's like, oh yeah, anybody's gonna, force a turnover or whatever. But it's just, I'm really tired of the inconsistency with the calls. I really am. But let's shift gears a little bit because I could go on and on and on about the refs.
Right.
I mean,
that could be an all month long conversation.
Yes.
For me as well.
Yes. I try not to be like a sore loser or anything, but I mean the refs in general, because as a football fan, I just think that the officiating every single week, it just feels like it gets worse. Some of the calls
I
are
feel
just
bad for new fans.
Well,
because how do you figure out how the game works when officiating so back and forth like that? You don't know what is a penalty and not.
Exactly.
Like the only reason I can tell this stuff is because years of experience and watching, playing, reading through the rule books, going and listening to the recaps of their meetings for the rules changes every year. Like someone who's a new fan doesn't have those hundreds and maybe might be thousands now of hours of work to figure out how is this game played.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a tough one, because it never, nothing seems to work. Like when you're like, oh yeah, this, and then nope, this happens, and it's like, man, I'm just trying to teach this person the bare minimum so they can understand the game, and then you throw like a play like the touchback. Fumble out of the back of the end zone. It's like, all right, well, now I have to teach that. I'm not even going to, because it's going to just confuse them. So it's also not my favorite rule. As you know, I think we discussed that before.
I think it should just go back to the spot of the fumble every time.
See, I don't even mind it being a touchback, but I don't see how the defense gets a possession when everywhere else on the field, if that were to happen, they don't get the possession. Like, you didn't earn the possession. Oh, I forced the fumble. Yeah, that's great, but like I'm diving for the pylon. I'm diving for, to break the plane. I don't know. At least that's how I feel. But I want to ask you, in regards to this game, who are you giving the game ball to?
That's an interesting one. I'd have to give 3.
All right. What are your 3
There's the
game
obvious
balls?
one, Kyron Williams.
Yes.
You got a guy who broke 150 yards rushing and a touchdown. I mean, we haven't seen someone with over 5-10-yard runs in a long time.
Yeah.
That was incredible to watch. And not only was he like, it's not just a matter of the blocking was good or this was happening or anything. He also made yards for himself. Like on this play he scored, he had to break a tackle that could have easily been a 2-yard loss.
Yeah.
There was so much that he did to it. That was a lot of fun to watch, and just to see him going after it. Then the other one, I'd have to give one to Christian Roseboom. Been someone I'd say is underperforming, but someone who actually, when the opportunity showed itself, he capitalized on it and got the pick.
That was huge.
Like, and that's one of those things that wherever you're at, when you have that opportunity, you need to take advantage of it. And if I'm correct, I believe that's his first interception in the league.
Yes,
Maybe.
because he's been pretty much playing special teams his whole career. So yeah, it is. No, I agree with that.
The third one, I'd have to give it to Aaron Donald. As what a freaking statement game.
So he didn't get a sack, and I think a lot of people are upset about that. Well, how did he not get a sack in this game?
What do you mean? He has a highlight of a sack. How does he not have that stat?
Yeah, he didn't get a sack in this game.
Do they call that a TFL?
Yep, they called it a TFL.
He put Dobbs in the spin cycle.
I don't know how. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm hoping stat corrections on Tuesday gets through and like fixes this, but yeah, I don't know. The scorekeeper for sacks this year has been ridiculous. I mean, I think there have been times where like not Ernest Jones, but Byron Young got a sack and they like give it to like Hoyt, and I'm like, Hoyt like landed on top of Byron Young, and they're like, yep. So I don't know. It's been weird.
And the other one too is the intentional grounding that he had him wrapped up. That should count as a sack too.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I don't know what the rule is for that at all.
I don't remember anymore either, but that's insane. How does he? Yeah, this is like, that's terrible. I'm looking at it now and I see 0 sacks. That's like, okay, well then regardless of whatever the stat sheet says, he was causing mayhem across the offensive line. And doing it just like he always does. And that's the thing, is like, when you have that happen, man.
Yeah.
He changes the game. And it was just a sight of seeing it again where it's like, he's still there. He's not slowing down. He's still Aaron Donald.
No, I agree. It's funny. I'm looking at the chat right now, and Edwin pointed out, about the officiating. Remember that Commanders game last year against the Giants? The guy he asked, like,
probably not.
The receiver looked at him and asked him if he was lined up, and he said, yeah. He put his thumb up.
Oh, yeah, and then he threw
the
flag.
Illegal formation flag.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's on the ref. That's not on him. That's why I never knew for the longest time when I was younger, like, when I'd see them do the thumbs up, I'd be like, that's weird, or like the point over. And yeah. And so, like, that's their job. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those like miscue things where I feel like the people that are in charge aren't doing their job.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, because you have something like that, that would probably be the most egregious one I've seen ever, because that's one where even if he wasn't on the line of scrimmage, you gave the thumbs up, you should just let it happen now. It just is what it is at that point. It's your fault for giving the thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. So I see there's one more person in the waiting room. I just want to ask you one final question. Actually, I just want to ask you, what are your final thoughts about if you have anything, maybe about like next week against the Steelers, anything on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to go against obviously much better competition, and that's going to be a much harder thing to go against.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see. I really think we got a good shot in it. Not particularly. I'm not worried about their offense. Pittsburgh's offense has looked horrendous, at least the times I've seen them. it's really just the same of like, I want to see them come out the same way they did in the second half and be able to just at least run the ball, even if it's only 3 to 4 yards at carry, or even if it's 2.5.
Yeah.
Just keep at it. Because the fact that we only had 3 rushing attempts in the first half was sickening.
No, I agree.
Like, you just gotta just try. Like, even if it's 0 yards, just try. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully McVay's coaching that day. Because when we saw him on the sideline today, we don't know exactly when his wife's going to be going into labor. Hopefully that's not in a situation that's going to cause him to step away from the Steelers game. But, I mean, if it does, I mean, something else.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it could, because if it was any day now, I mean, I think he just doesn't want to miss the birth of his child. Like, I think if it happens, yeah, but I think if it happens before the game, like, you know, maybe on Thursday or something, I think he'd still coach.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. It's just a matter of like, if it lands on Sunday morning.
Yeah, then, I mean, that's the way it is. But one interesting tidbit here with the Steelers, they're currently 28th in rushing yards allowed per game. They're
so we're gonna
averaging
pass.
100. They're averaging 143.8. They only are ahead of the Broncos, the Bengals, the Giants, the Jets. That's it. So the good news is for the Rams is that moving forward, the next 3 games, you know, Pittsburgh's 28th against the run, Dallas is 21st, and Green Bay is 27th. Those are their next 3 games. So I don't know. There's a good chance, you know, you could get the run going with Kyron Williams and set yourself up for success.
I mean, I would be happy if he gets to 800 yards after those games.
Yeah.
Sets himself up to have a nice 1,200 yard season and then keep working, getting better from there. That'd be great.
No, I definitely agree with that. But Swizzle, appreciate you as always. Thank you for the gifted subs.
Of course.
And I will be doing some more kick streams throughout the week. Obviously, I'll be doing the film breakdown.
Yes.
I don't know what day that'll be. It's hard to lock in a day just because I have like interviews for Off the Edge and Believe in Rams and Downtown Rams, trying to figure out how everything works. Luckily, the Steelers week is going to be easy because my cousin is a Steelers content creator and I will be having him on.
There you go.
So very easy stuff there. He wants to come on everything. He's he's a great, I mean, we did a show together, AJ's show, back when I had my own studio and everything. But yeah, he's great. He knows his team very well. We've been talking about football for years, so I think he could provide a pretty, decent amount of upside and, knowledge and everything, trying to get us ready for that game. But looking forward to that. And Spider-Man 2 comes out on Friday, so I'll be playing that as well on Kick. I can definitely say that.
I'll probably jump in for that, but I'll let you get going so you can be able to pull last bit in the waiting room. Also, happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you, Swizzle.
Right. Of course. See ya.
Later. All right. Now we got the last one here, and then there was one. Ruiz, LA Rams, how you doing? You there? Caesar, what did I think about Zach Evans today? I thought he was
yo.
Thought he was pretty solid. What's up, Ruiz? How you doing?
I'm not bad. I'll wait.
No, I was just I was just reading a comment while I was waiting for you.
Oh no, you're good. You're asking me about Zach Evans, or are you just reading that about Zach Evans?
I was just reading about Zach Evans.
And I was hoping they put him more on the field. I wanted to see him, man. Like, I'm excited about that guy.
So, how'd you feel about the win?
I'm happy, man. I just left SoFi a little while ago. Got something to eat right there across the street, the Chili's by SoFi. And man, I'm on a 2-hour drive home. We would have lost that game, man. It would have been a very depressing drive, man. So I'm glad we got the win. And tell me that last scoring drive right before halftime didn't remind you of Tampa Bay in the playoffs with the Stafford Cup over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had 0. But I had flat. I just look at my brother like, that's Tampa all over again, you know. And I don't want to be that guy, man. Because a win is a win, and we got to count our blessings. And you know, all the NFC West lost except us.
Yeah.
But this game could have gone south very quickly, man. I think Akello Weatherspoon, like you've been saying since from the get-go, that he's balling out, dude. Like I don't even remember Jalen Ramsey playing that good. That he's been crazy. Look at the receivers that we've been up against. Like the gauntlet of receivers that he's been up against, and he's been kind of shutting all of them down. Devontae Smith, nothing. Coach had to hug him on the sideline. You know, like he's been balling, man, and to me the game ball goes to him, because if he doesn't bat that ball down against Marquise Brown, you're gonna tell me Sean McVay was gonna run the ball in the second half down by more than what we were down already by?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So to me, this game would have looked a lot. And not only that one, the Dobbs also, Akello was guarding him, I believe, on the deep right. The ball went out of bounds. He kind of let him. Could have been because Akello was guarding him. I don't remember. But he let him. If he puts it right more inside the hash, that's a touchdown. So we kind of got a little lucky, man. This game, I don't want to say lucky, but this game could have been different. It would have been a lot different. McVay would have been, you know, because we have two quarterbacks. I mean, we have two coaches. I don't know if you guys know. We have Sean McVay and we have Sean McPass. And Sean McPass was in the first half.
Well, I also think, to your point, like, I mean, you look at the Roseboom interception, you know, if that isn't thrown the way it is, that...
We finally got one, though.
But then also, I would say, to be fair to that, they had 2 drop touchdowns in which they had to settle for 3 points. So, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, end of the day, the Rams outplayed them. They deserved to win. The offense was incredibly infuriating the first half.
Right.
And then I think the second half, they got things going. And that was the good thing. But, you know, how are you feeling moving forward? Do you feel better about this team following week 6, worse, or do you feel the same as you did last week?
We felt the same. I feel like we're a playoff team. I think we're a really good team with one pass rusher away from being great, because our defense is playing lights out. The only thing that kills me, man, and I'm pretty sure his ears are ringing because of me, is Michael Hoyt, man. Dude, man. Sorry, man. No, he has a family, but that guy, I just can't with him, man. He's not playing the position he's supposed to be playing. He needs to be rushing. He can't be, like, I seen a play where he was guarding Marquise Brown. I'm like, what's going on? Like, you know, like he's good for depth, but we need to make it. I think we're a pass rusher away. Like you said it from the beginning as well, that we're a pass rusher away from being special with the rookies. And next year, like, I hate the Niners as much as the next guy, but if they don't win it this year, man, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble, because next year we're coming. You know, like, what rebuild? Like, I don't know what we're gonna make the playoffs on a rebuild. Like, come on, like, there's no team. We're like at least the 6th best team in the NFC with rookies.
Yeah, currently the 7th seed in the NFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously that's going to get more redefined as time goes on.
Seattle's just in front of us because of that. They've played one less game, but we hold a tiebreaker against them.
Yeah. And I mean,
so we're really the sixth best team in the NFC. And I don't fear Detroit, man. I don't fear Detroit. I don't fear any team. I don't think the Rams fear any. If anything, they're gonna fear us. I've known Eagle fans, and they were scared of us. They were scared of us.
Yeah.
We just got away from the run. Cooper Kupp, first game back, it showed. It showed where that deep pass where he was looking at it like he was didn't know which way to turn. It showed. But we, like every other caller has said, we've been in every single game. We should have won the Niner game. We should have won the Cincinnati game. Probably the only loss that I could probably say, like, okay, we lost that one, was Philly, because they hold on to the ball. We couldn't really do anything. The second half, they didn't give us any opportunity. And, Sean McPass was like, oh, I got to score 11 points on one play. So that's what happened against Philly, but we were there with them.
Yeah, no, they've been in every game. That's been kind of the key here. My final question for you before I let you go and wrap up the show. I'm going to ask you, who would you give the game ball to today?
I got to give it to Akello Weatherspoon, man. I got to. That guy, I'm telling you, this game would have been a lot different. Sean McPass is not running the ball when he's down more. If they would have scored both of those touchdowns, it's a whole different ballgame. So the fact that those plays that he did that was huge. It was really huge. It kind of pretty much, I think he learned his lesson from the Cincinnati game, where it's a one possession game. Let me run the ball. Let me not go. What'd he do? Come out the second half, run. Okay, at the end zone, pass the ball, touchdown. That's perfect. That's the team that we are. We're a run first team, play action pass. That's how we would. That's what when we were in 2018. That's what we were deadly. 2021, it was really because Stafford was he's a gunslinger, and he was still getting familiar with Sean McPass, so it was a lot of passing. But now I feel with Kyron Williams, our O-line's getting healthy. We're going to hopefully we have no boom next week because we're going to need it. We're going to need him against that D-line. Play the game like it's one possession game every single drive. Run the ball, hit him over the top with Tutu, Cooper Kupp, and Puka. That's it. I think and then on offense, I got to give it to Kyron. That guy's a baller, man.
Yeah, he was an absolute stud today. But
shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Alexis for that's her dude.
Yes. She actually she showed me him. I think he was a freshman, and she showed me him. I wasn't even aware of him. And then she showed me his highlights or his tape or whatever from Notre Dame, and I was like, oh, wow, who is this guy?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure. But really quick, man, I just want to, just thank you, man, for, giving us this platform where we could just come and, as Ram fans, come out here and just, say what's on our mind.
Yeah.
I want to, just give you your flowers, man. You giving out a community. I'm a member, man. You already know I'm there. But I just want to thank you, man. And it's through the goods and the bads, we're right there. I look forward to your videos, man. I freaking work in the night, so I'm there in the night just watching your videos again, and just I watch them a couple times. Just like, hey, man, it's entertaining, man. You're really good at what you do, man, and just keep pushing, man. We're gonna have your back regardless. We ride or die, Ellenbogen.
Hey, I appreciate that. I don't think I've ever heard that before, ride or die Ellenbogen, but
hey, hashtag. Put it in a shirt. Somebody got to put that in a shirt.
Yeah. But hey, I appreciate you, and man, look forward to talking with you next week, following the hopefully the Rams win over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Just gotta be one play at a time, man. Don't try to score 11 points on one pass. That's McVay's problem. And then I got take props for not burning the timeouts in the second half. If he wouldn't have not burned the timeouts in the first half, we would have scored a touchdown before halftime.
Yeah, it's well, we move, right? We move. Good win.
Yes, sir.
If you're gonna have a bad half of football and a good half of football, you probably would rather have the bad half be in the first half and the good half be in the second half. And that's what happened today. And I mean,
we flipped the script. We flipped the script because we're usually good in the first half, and then every single team aside of Seattle has shut us down in the second half.
That felt so obvious too. That just felt like that was going to happen. I don't know. But
yeah, man, like I said, thanks again, man, for giving us this opportunity. And like I said, man, keep doing your thing.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Take it easy. All right. So, guys, that is almost going to do it. But let's see if we can get all hands on deck here. I got over 180 people in here still. And I'm sure there are people out there that have not followed me on Kick, on YouTube. I still have 14 people on Kick right now. Please do me a favor. Hit that link. Give me a follow on Kick. I'm trying to grow both platforms. I got 20,000 on here. Just over 720 on kick.com/JKBogan. The link is in the chat, and it takes 30 seconds to sign up. So I want to see if I can get a few signups before I call it a night, because I'm doing stuff on there all the time, whether it's this, whether it's game film breakdown, which, by the way, the game film breakdown is 100% exclusive to Kick. I'll post, different clips on YouTube, but the film breakdown is exclusive on Kick because of copyright. So if you guys could do me that favor, join the Kick channel. That would be great. Follow that. And then also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the Discord. It's free. We're growing like crazy. I can't even believe it. It's literally, it's almost at 800. We're almost at 800 members. We got 779 members. So almost at 800. And it's getting crazy. This community is blowing up. It's starting to feel real, like really real. Like we're starting to find something here. Level 3 boosted and everything. So appreciate that, Tyler. Appreciate that, Falco. We back up. Agree, Edwin. Ken Davis asks, Cowboys or Chargers? I'm gonna go with the Chargers here. That's what I'm gonna go with. But yeah. We back up. This Bills team is not winning the Super Bowl like this. Yeah, I don't think it's conducive to Super Bowl winning football when you're, barely able to put out the Giants, who are broken, beaten, scarred, while you're at home. But again, any given Sunday, to be fair. So you don't want to take away too much credit. Always going against my team, Jake. See, you guys are going to whip Rams' ass. I think you're taking it a little too personal, because it's not necessarily you. I just think that the Cowboys, since they lost Trayvon Diggs, are not the same, and they're not. And I think the Chargers, they're in a good position. This is a revenge game for Kellen Moore, and they're at home. So I'll take the Chargers over the Cowboys. Tyrod Taylor is way better than Danny Dimes. I don't know if I'd say way better. Trust me, I have no issue with Cowboys fans. I have way more of an issue the Chargers fans. I didn't even know. Man, they were jerks to me on Twitter. So if anything, I would have more of a bias against Charger fans, but I don't put any of that bias into it. But anyway, guys, I'm exhausted. Full disclosure. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours. This was where you found Chargers fans. So if you guys could, the link is in the chat on YouTube. Just head on over there and follow me on Kick. If you aren't already, I'll be having plenty of content there. All 22. I don't know what day it is. It's either going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So I'll let you know what day that is. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And let's see. That's like an endangered species. It's funny. And yeah, that's going to do it, folks. Appreciate you. Thanks, as always, for your support. And I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream or wherever I see you. Later, folks. Have a good night.